Sorry, hello. I had myself on mute. Thank you, Starlight. I was saying hello to everyone. Say hello everyone. Um, yes, David M. Rivets and Daka. Hello, Daryl G. Verona Mackay. Cat Free. Three Fingers. Hello, Verona. I just read you. David M. Hello. Rudolfo Ramirez. Hello. Nice. What's that Spanish name? The Bane of Odin. Hello, Phil Jones. Richie, how you doing? Roland O. Buenos dias to you as well. All right. So, as you know, we're waiting for Bernie. He should be rocking up any minute. Actually, it's a joke. This time it's a live stream, and Bernie's not going to turn up. How did you all like the live stream where I didn't turn up? I was actually there. I was just invisible. No, where was I? I think I was out for lunch. So yeah, slight scheduling problem there. Victoria Cunningham from Florida. Hello, one of the free or freer states in the US of A. And of course, we need to call it the USA because that is the free country, right? The land, the US, that's a corporation. The Vickerly, hello from Tasmania. How you going down in Tassie? Lots and lots of old stuff down in Tassie, especially like Port Arthur, the Star Forts. I mean, there is stuff everywhere actually in Tasmania. It's covered. Truth Seeker, hello. Martin Haley, hello. Motherwell, Scotland. All right. We've got people from all across the plain listening. Chuck Trebar. Luke Skywalker's even popped in for a bit of a chat. Wow. I don't know, Luke. I saw what you said this morning about the people in Washington. Or is that your alter ego, Mark Hamill? Tom. I think it's Tom, isn't it? Short for Thomas. Tom, where'd you go? Yefanaro, how you going from Ohio? David M, I remember when Bernie did his 2-day marathon. Yeah, that was awesome. The Bernie-a-thon. That was. I remember going in and talking, and there were people in there. There was about 4 people in there chatting, and Bernie had been asleep for like 7 hours, and that was the stream. It was just Bernie asleep, and I said, "Hey, how you going?" And someone said, "Yeah, good. Yeah. The dog walked past about an hour ago." It was action packed. That stream was action packed. Mel P, hello. Brian A Metz, hello. Callum, how you going there? Welcome. Who I missed? Peter versus Beers. Oh, who's winning, Peter? You or the beer? Tree Seeker from Wisconsin. All right, hello. Three Fingers, Flemish Bear. Flemish. What? I know that's a language. I can't recall where Flemish is spoken, though. I'm thinking Eastern Europe, is it? King Kong from Boston. All right, stay with those buildings, King Kong. Bex, hello. How you going? Angie Werner, Southern California. All right. Yeah, that was an interesting. I haven't looked into it. I think you guys had the recall already, didn't you? And they pulled a Swiftie again. Shall we say that? Adrian Sharp, hello. Jay Johnson, hello. Bex from Norway. All right, the land of the awesome star forts. Phil Jones, where's David Weiss? He's the best. Dave Weiss. I've done a chat with Dave Weiss. If you haven't seen it, it is up, but I'll probably get him on again soon because we're going to start, like a talkback, a Tartarian talkback, if you like, where we're going to get, heaps and heaps of people on talking about, the old world and what we talk about here. Hello, S. Barb from Essex in the UK, Ed Bragg, Jim Malone, Joshua. Oh, thank you. Now, talking about Dave Weiss, who's got the app? This. Oh, who has this? Because this has the new Friend Finder app. So I'm just going to bring it up, and if you get this, it's $1 a month. So you've got to pay $12 for the year to get access to chat. You'll still see the Friend Finder if you just pay the $1 per month, but to actually interact, you've got to sign up for the month. Excuse me. All right, so let me show you. Oh gosh, if I can do this. All right, it's growing. So this is Perth, where I am. And can you see all those blue dots? All those blue dots are people with this app. And you can basically click on the dot. It'll tell you the person's name, and you can send them a message. You can say, "Hey, how you going? Let's meet up." But organize meetup. That's what it's really good for, is organizing groups. So $12, and you can contact people that are on your level, right? And like I said, you can just send them messages through the app. If they get back to you, you get a few people. You say, "Hey, let's meet up. Let's all grab a coffee." And you go and meet up and you chat, and we start making groups. And this is how it's done, with apps like this, using their tech against them, and whatever tech that is, be it Telegram, even fascist book, whatever. I say use it against them, use it for good, and let's start making groups. Callum hasn't got it yet because he's got a dumb phone and not a smartphone. So we need to do a pass around and buy Callum a smartphone so that we can all see where he is and track him like the government. But that's the thing, right? This is the technology that they want to use, and they are using against us. So good on Dave for getting in there and using it for us and against them. That's what we need to do. Vividness has the app. All right. Name of the app is FE Clock. It is. I actually wrote it down somewhere. The Sun, Moon, Zodiac Clock app, I believe. And you need to get the one by Blue Water, because there is a copycat app made by the Flat Earth Society, which is completely crap. David M. Hang on. That's right. I'm supposed to be showing. I keep forgetting to show it. I'm learning. I would like to present a lot of stuff about old world healing. Oh, foods are also known as medicine. Medicine, right? I like healing better. And building tech, since build all types of different materials and have lots of examples. Cool. Send me an email, David. I had a chat, I can't believe it, with Amanda Vollmer on Friday, and it was really awesome. And she's really awesome, and it was a really good chat, and it didn't come out. It didn't work, the recording. So I've graciously asked for some more of her time. All the David Icke stuff, that's up on Bitchute if you want to check that out, on Instant Karma. And how did everyone like the chat with the Strongs on Australia, Evan and Stephen Strong? That was pretty cool, hey? Hang on, let me. You should be able to put this so it just scrolls through the comments. Hello, Michelle L. 47AG Studios. Greetings to you. RH, the app fails on Apple. Oh, well. It's because it's Apple. he's definitely says it should work, and I saw him on Geonism last week, and he basically said if you have a problem with the app at all, email him, and I think you'll find the email on his either his website or his YouTube channel. So let him know. Blue Water Bay, yes, Bex. Blue Water Bay is the app maker. So make sure if you get it from them. Happy Brewer, hello. Happy Brewer, you should go and visit. Who was it? Who was versing the beer? You could get together and make and drink lots of beer. Got an iPad, but not supported anymore. Just use it for. Oh my gosh, Callum, what are you living in the past or something? Come on, it's all about the future. We don't talk about the past here. Callum should join us also. Yes, when you said old world healing and health, I actually thought of Callum straight away. That would be good. What do you think, Callum? Bit of health, maybe we could talk about some banana skin tea as well, which is a question I forgot to ask Amanda, but I will. You see, that's why it didn't work, because I didn't ask about the banana peel tea, and the universe didn't like it, so we have to reschedule. The Skylarker, hello from Southwest Ohio. Hello. Fabian Olivos, a tard phone. Exactly. Old world tech, eh? Verona, hello. Love the Australian chat. Awesome. Yes, yeah. That was really good, I thought, and we definitely want to get them back and have another chat. Have I seen When the Buildings Cried? Yes, that's the channel. What's his name? Tim? No. Yeah, the redheaded guy. Yeah, it's a channel, right? Is it? I know he's made a series as well, like a short series, and no, I have not watched that yet. UAP has watched it, though I know that. I haven't had the time yet. 007 Richie, I put up a video yesterday, Vivness. We could see the smoke at sunset. Oh, what happened? What did I miss? Was there a volcano? Volcano? Good vibes. Peter, oh, there you go. Peter versus beers. There you go. It was Peter, and who was it? It wasn't Luke Skywalker. It was the Skylarker. There you go. That is a pub date made in heaven. Maybe go into business together, right? There you go. Making connections everywhere. The strong chat was great. Thank you, Napoleon. And the dude abides. Well, there you go. So, Dave, there's lots of names here. David M. Yes, David M. Send me an email. It is in the About section on my channel, and we'll hook something up. And Callum says the dude abides. So there you go. Andrea, hello. Buried Axeblade. Oh, wouldn't want to meet you in a dark alley. Ouch. Thank God I was about to. Thank God I was about to 1 minute ago tear into the Tolkien denier. Who's the Tolkien denier? Was that? Who's the Tolkien denier? If I missed something, I think I've missed something. Oh, okay. You've already spoken to Callum. Well, there you go. You guys are way ahead of me. Brenda Lowe, happy day to you as well. All right. David M just got the app. All right. So there's going to be a dot soon that says David M. Jerry, yes, I knew it. Yeah, Jerry, yes, thank you. 47AG. Jerry from I think he's changed the name of his channel though. His channel used to be, I'm pretty sure, When the Buildings Cried, and I think he's changed it. And oh, here we go. Yes, a 4 or part 6 documentary. There you go. So has anyone else seen it? I do need to. Oh, everyone's Jerry, When the Buildings Cried. Here we go. Everyone's on to about me. You see, I'm left in the past again. David M. All right, thank you. And everyone, if you've sent me an email, I know there is quite a few I haven't got back to yet. Just had a really busy week last week and the week before that. And so I tried to not book this week and keep it free. And somehow I ended up booking 3 chats today. So I don't know how that worked. and I'm on a live now. So what can I say? The universe wants me in front of a camera and a microphone for some reason. Who have we got here? Luke Skywalker. Hello. I mean, what am I saying? Louise, UK. Hello. How are you going? Arthur, Flat Earth. Hello. Fee, how you going? Welcome. Wilco Way. We can Wikipedia better than Wikipedia. Gus. Wackypedia. Yeah. You got to be on the wacky. Well, not even the wacky tobacco. That'll sort of make you not go there, I think. Starlight, hello. Luke Skywalker, Tenerife. Yes, 007. He's out in the middle of the ocean on the islands of Canaries. If you're meeting with Dark Ellie, I'd be saving you. Scarf first. What does that mean? Rockingham. How you going, Adrian? Hello. We have to hook up. Join. I'm still trying to work out. Someone's helping me with Discord, and I think there's emails that I need to read. But if you're on Fascist Book, Adrian, I've still got an account. Send me a like. Otherwise, I'll let you know. But we've got, it's building. We've got, and especially with this app, there's, we're over 50. If I'm counting people on the app, people in Perth that we can get together. So it happens quick, guys. Just start. In the chats. I've got Telegram. Chat to yourselves amongst that. Again, all the comments have got away from me. There's just too many. So thanks for chatting. But it's really more for you guys to talk to each other and find out where you are. What skills you got. Start building businesses. Start making plans. All that kind of good stuff. They track everything. Selling your data is how they make money. That is very true. But let's use it against. I mean, what are we going to do, right? At this point, we can't sort of run into the bush and not be connected to everyone, can we? So, but it's happening. There's a great video, Australia, Melbourne today. The unions. I can't remember which one. I don't think it was the BLF, but one of the unions, and they were going off about the Jabberwocky Bill's Prick. It was great. A couple of hundred or 1,000 people just saying, nah, not interested in your crap. Go away. Very next way, my dog. Oh, okay, your dog is Scarf. Well, there you go. That makes more sense now. Yes, I need a new dog. I don't have. Did you see me take a sip, Callum? I don't have a doggy at the moment, and it's the first time in my whole life, and it's been like 3 or 4 years now. So I really want to get another puppy. Hello, Jules Ludes, Jules Luds. Is that right? Hello from Helborn. Yeah, I hope you are doing well. Yeah, I mean, good on everyone on the weekend getting out, but the cops over there, that was just disgraceful. Yes, we do need. Yes, we need to catch up. So if you're not on any of those platforms, Adrian, send me an email in the about section on my page. And Bernie is coming. I swear. Should I start showing pictures soon? And we'll just wait for him to rock in. You see, maybe he is tricking me. Maybe he's getting me back, and he's just not going to show up. He's going to make me do this all by myself. Yeah. Hey. Oh. Miss Tommy, South Australia's over the top. They said they will arrest me, and when I went to the cops. What the hell? Don't go to the cops, right? It's everything is inverted. Like literally the hospitals. I've got to be careful with what I say, right? But I don't know if you've heard, but the horse paste, right? They've got the horse paste. And if you go in and you've accepted Bill's Prick into your life and you're showing symptoms, they'll give you horse paste. But if you go in and you're a Bill's Prick denier, then you don't get that. They try and whack you on a ventilator, which will basically, death by drowning is what it is. And I'm trying to be careful for all the, Or the Facebook, eyes that are watching us because they have no lives. Hi, guys. Blue Bum. Yes, Robbo. Yes, how you going? They were saying, basically, they were chanting it. Exactly. It was the tradies. It was to do with unions, I think. But it was definitely all the tradies. It was a great video. They weren't taking any of this crap. And it was so funny because, the guy, the union reps, they all walk out. There was probably 10% in the crowd, had their undies on their face. And, the rest were all, living men, natural on the land. Sure, there was a few women as well. And then all the bosses came out and they all had their underpants on their face. And, people were just, oh my God, they just heckled the crap out of them. Bernie joining surely. Yes, we love you too. All right, Bernie's on his way. And he comes out and he starts talking, and then he just pulls his mask off, and he's got people in his face. And so all these people pushing, they don't believe it. It came out a couple of days ago in the US. There was, like all the polys on telly for some crap, and they started broadcasting a few seconds or a few minutes early and showed them all. None of them had their nappies on their face. And, as soon as they realized that the cameras were rolling, they all just, and started whipping out these, nappies from everywhere and shoving them on their face, putting them on their cake holes. So it's such a scam. They don't believe, none of these people believe it. They don't believe it. It's just, we know what it is, right? Power and money grabbeth. Okay, let's get through some of these. Hello, Burn-Eye, third eye, science guy without the bow tie. Kieran, hello, how you going? Mr. B, who's Mr. B? I take strays in and foster pit bulls, ready for another chihuahua. How do the pit bulls go with the chihuahuas? Wow, hope you keep them separated. Chihuahuas are cool though. There's so many different types of chihuahuas, is what I'm learning. Jeff and Lucy, right? Lucy the chihuahua, and Beegs has got a chihuahua. And I used to think chihuahuas were, like the stimpy, the real skinny things with the big heads, but they don't seem to be. They seem to be a bit bigger and a bit more dog-like than I thought. So there you go. I'm learning about chihuahuas. And I mean, it's a cool name, right? I got taught how to spell chihuahua when I was like 15 or something. C-H-I-H-U-A, Chihuahua. That is I, Bernie. I love pit bulls, rotties, and staffies. Yeah. I do too. Love them all. Probably looking at getting a staffy though. I'm thinking, or a bit bigger sort of staffy pit bull terrier sort of thing. Brindle, hopefully. Tall Oaks, how are you going? Morning to you. Psychedelic Prawn Crumpets. Now that is a good name. Hello to you. Kieran Phillips. Cover them soup blowers. What? Cover them soup blowers. Are you talking about Campbell soup? Because there's no P in my name, but they have P in Campbell soup. So yes, I think there's something in that for all of us. Tommy Rogers 3. Hello, how you going? Thank you for being here. Ren and Stimpy. Lisa and Jet Lewis. Wow, that's a cool name. Lisa and Jet. Well, you should put a Lee in there. Lisa and Jet Lee Lewis. That'd be even better. I have three pit bulls. My second and my set of children. My second set of children, big babies. Yes, wow, 3 pit bulls. Nice. Pitpay, hello Miles, how you going? Still at Roddy, 600 BC, 2,600 years helping man. Really? Well, there you go. I did not know that they went back that far, but I mean, obviously, Roddies are more purebred, and there's 2 types, right? There's 2 types of Rottweilers. There's the German type, which are smaller. Is that right? I believe they're smaller. And then there's, and hopefully you know berry daxblade. The other kind that are bigger are from a bit north of Germany. I can't remember where. So there you go. And then there's Dobermans as well, right? They're like the skinny the skinny Rottweilers. One taco for every pirate. Tacos. Lucy likes tacos. Jeff and Lucy, right? Diane Hamilton, got to get one of my bright orange shirts. Oh, thank you. And Staffy's, oh, there you go. Diane Hamilton, like my color, my shirts and Staffy's. Geez, we may have to have a coffee sometime. Yes, there is links below in the description if you would like to check out the merchandise. Starlight, fish and chips. Oh, I don't know what that was. Member lipties and covers. What? I don't even know what I'm reading at the moment. Oh my gosh! And then I get a name like this. Thank you. Hello. We hope you're well this morning too. Thank you for being here. Sonia, how are you? Welcome. Thanks for being here. Eric Elgath, I'm a bulldog man. All right. Yeah, bulldogs. What kind? Because British bulldogs freak me out a bit. They're I don't they're not quite dogs anymore. French bulldogs, they look like real dogs still. I mean, they're cool. The full size ones, especially. Yeah, the British bulldogs, they had like an inbreeding problem, basically. I had a Chihuahua for 15 years and she was wonderful. She bossed the pit bulls around. Well, there you go. It's not the size that matters, right? It's the attitude. Yes, we are well. I'm King Dan the Khan. King Dan the Can. All right. Worldwide realm protesting most of the weekend. My only flat Earth meetup these days. Did you go? Who went to Martin's event? Anyone? Because I did the big pre-stream party. He got onto his first stream and it lasted half an hour, and that was it. He did a bit more, but obviously he had issues. He told me he was streaming it all, but he's definitely got it. He's someone's got it. He hasn't yet. The people who recorded it have got it. So waiting for that footage. But yeah, who made it there? Was it? Who did I see? Was it I Heart Fairies? I think that we saw there. Stubborn Dogs. What's that? Bulldogs. Yeah. Well, the British Bulldogs are. I mean, they just they're like a pillow with legs. It's 7 a.m. and I'm off to bed. You're going to bed. You're a night owl. You can't go to bed. We're still live, man. We're still live. Seen Speaker's Corner. Speaker's Corner. That's in London, right? Where people sit there and get on their soapboxes, so to speak. Dawn Lashaw. Good morning from Florida. Hello. We had someone else from Florida in before. Bernai, how you doing? I was friends with the British Bulldog. Also, Jim the Anvil. What? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm confusion. I was at Martin's event, Highest State of Consciousness. It was great. Awesome. Yes. Tell us about yeah, but we're all waiting to see it. Apparently I was there. Was I there? Apparently I was. Tiny dogs crack me up. Definitely a reflection of small alpha males. Yappy dogs. Yes, the old yappers. Vividness. We go hunting and digging for mice. Oh. What with your dogs? I watched it. It rocked. Martin smashed it out of the park. Morgan, hello, welcome. All right. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good from it. Yeah, where is Martin? Someone share message Martin. Someone. Greetings from Nepal, unknown boy. How you going? Wow, what's it like up on the top of the world? I'm on the top of the world, looking down on creation. There you go, little song. Lost his phone and battery, going flat. Cute random interview though. Yes, Martin on the weekend. Callum, the Australian cattle dog, wrote the book and stuff. Yeah, yeah, Daryl. Yeah, they're definitely up there. Those, you know, yeah. I mean, great when they're well trained. Good, good when they're, the boss, of the animals, but not so good when when you try and be the boss of them. Shannon Ann from Colorado. Hello, welcome. We are just waiting for Burn Eye, Third Eye Science Guy without the bow tie to join us. Jane Hicks, West Virginia. I hear it's almost heaven out there. How are you? Welcome. Starlight Unknown Boy Unicorn. We ain't live. We are awake. Yes, we are, Diane. I agree. Tommy's in Toronto. Oh, okay. That's, yep. You did not get to the event because you're in Toronto. There you go. Bernie, talking about famous. You're supposed to be on here, like with your face doing this. WWE wrestlers I grew up with because, oh, okay. You grew, there you go. The Bulldog and what was the other one? The something. Yes, right. WWE. Remember when Hulk Hogan and they had teams or something? I was never really a big fan, but they became like the New World Order. Who remembers that? Back in probably the noughties. But yeah, they all come out with they were like the New World Order team. I've been listening to Paul Stammett's mushroom research. I'm thinking out loud, him talking about how mushrooms and psilocybin, is that how I say it? Psilocybin, benefit each other chemical reaction. And I'm curious if psilocybin, yeah, and ayahuasca need to. Ayahuasca, what's ayahuasca? Ayahuasca, I'm not sure what that is. I got my star, well, my chart read by a Mayan astrologist. And there's an interview up on my Spiral Up channel with her that went up yesterday, and it was really, really good, really accurate. Went for 2 hours, the reading, and she said, because I give you a reading for the year that you're in, and she said that the year I'm in, which I've just started, mushrooms. She said mushrooms. I guess it's got something to do with iodine as well. But she said eat mushrooms, and she said also, if you feel the need, try some of the magic variety and see what happens. And then have a long weekend at Bernie's. Ooh, yeah. DMT. All right. Snap into a Slim Jim. What is a Slim Jim? Down here in Australia, we don't have them. We hear about them all the time. Rowdy Roddy Piper, the best wrestler ever. They live, right? I mean, yeah, he smashed them all. R.I.P. Roddy. Campbell's cat is funny to show he is around him. Very interesting. Yes, my cat, she's asleep now. My son just had a lesson. He teaches guitar. And of course, the cat decided to pick that moment halfway through the lesson to scream at the top of her lungs. So I had to grab her and throw her in my room, shut the door, and then she started screaming at me. She's very bossy. She's like an Australian cattle dog or a pit bull. Hacksaw Jim, him. Excuse me, hang on. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, isn't it? I think not him, but typos. But I remember, was he the hillbilly dude? Like I said, I wasn't a big fan. I remember a big hillbilly with a beard and overalls and a hat. I really, Andre the Giant, and some of the ones back in the start. Don't forget Semuju. What's Semuju? Don't forget Semuju. What's that, Adrian? It's obviously half of your name, of your tag. Is that a mushroom? Please do enlighten us. Tommy Rogers, shrooms are cool. There's a book that is called Jesus Was a Mushroom. Did you know? And it actually talks. And it's quite serious. It's not a joke. It's quite, it's scientific. It's written, I can't remember who wrote it, but a very well-educated person. And it talks about, was Jesus a mushroom? Like literally. Yes, Jim. Yes, thank you, Ben. I ate shrooms on heroines. primo. I recommend it. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to respond to that, HD, because I'm not going to respond to that. What was I talking about? Oh God, now I've see what you've done to me. Anyone? What was I talking about? I was talking about mushrooms. God, I don't even know. I've lost my train of thought. If someone reminds me, I shall go back to it. Autodidactic, that's a sign you should start microdosing and taking different types of mushrooms. Like, yes, I just run out of my lion's mane. Yeah. It's interesting that she said that, because obviously I've got, still a bit of damage. The arm works, but the hand's still getting there. A bit of damage, and it is actually my. See, everything ties in, right? What a damage. Obviously my nerves, but the main damage was to my fascia, like FASCIA, right? Fascia, right? Facade. What do we talk about all the time? So yeah, and then and so I've been taking limates for that, and then now I get told to take more mushrooms. So it's very interesting, right? What's happening with time? It's just, I mean, how are the synchronicities going for everyone else? It's like we're what's that book called? Celestine Prophecies. It's like we're living in the Celestine Prophecies. Just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Every time I think of something or I need something, it just tends to turn up, and everything is just connecting. Diane Hamilton, some cats are just as good at watchdogs as cats. Why? But on some occasions, quiet can be good. Exactly. I mean, they're stealthy, man. Cats are mean. Cats are mean. Manchurian candidate. Oh, where'd that go? Cubanus lenses. Psychedelic prawn crumpets. I have no idea what that means. Come on, Bernie, where are you? Shall I start showing pictures? We are about an hour in and I'm still talking. I tried to Instagram Martin, so I'm not sure I wrote as you said. Time. Thank you, Morgan. Very much sync. Yeah, very much sync. I don't want the flock TV. What? I don't. What is Paul in here? I've got that blasted 2020. My sister does through after an accident. You see, this is the thing. When you read comments, you just get half the conversation. I healed my broken neck in one night on streams. What? Oh my God, Andrew. How did you do that? A broken neck in one night? I've had this dodgy arm for 12 months, man. Still not there. Yes, go and join the far queue. Ethereal. We should do a watch party, bro. Did you see it yet? Sorry, Ether 2. Not okay. Ether 2. No, I haven't. Is that a movie or something? Is it like a new something? Let me know. And yeah, well, I mean, that's something else that we can do as well. We can do watch parties. Basically, I can just do a live and I just press play on the video and we all watch it together and talk about it. Yeah, we can do that for sure. I mean, we can definitely do it. We may need to do it on Odysee. I'm not sure. I think if you don't advertise, it's okay on YouTube, but have to see depending on the show. Found a beautiful hardcover of Celestine. Nice, yes. I still got. What was there? Two, and then like an experiential book or something. Which is basically just a journal. Setting up Bernie, who let the dog out? He's getting there. Bernie's coming. It is just weeks are peeling off like they are only days. They really are. Time is just weird. Of course, Sonia's laughing. Vikings use the red fly mushroom when they do. Oh, well, there you go. Nice to hear. And of course, they're being used, everywhere, right? All throughout time. It's on Bitchute. So interesting. Okay, see, now I'm going to have to write this down. Hang on one sec. I'm not sharing screen, am I? What's it called? Ether 2. Ether 2 on Bitchute. All right, I shall check it out. And yeah, we can do that. I've actually got a video that we're going to have a look at tonight. But yeah, we can do watch parties. If they're going to try and separate us, then let's use their technology to give them the big finger, and we'll just collect online using their well, it's our technology. We invented it. They just try and take it over, right? Autodidactic, Rowdy Blue Jay, hello. Anything new with the Australian regarding Tartaria? Did you see the chat we did the other day on this channel about Australia? We interviewed the Strongs, so lots of good information there. And basically, I'm doing weekly chats with Kelly Jones from Australia Tartaria Facebook group. And yeah, so we're looking into it, and I'm going to start doing I want to do some deep dives on individual buildings just to show how stupid it is. But yeah, this Thursday I'm recording with Kelly, and we've got some really cool old photos that we haven't seen before of Melbourne, so definitely getting into that. Definitely want to put a bit more focus on Australia. I've just so many things, so many things interest me, so trying to get around to it all. So I would love a team if there is a team of people out there who would like to work for free, who do social media and all this kind of stuff. I'm here, and I would not. Okay, we have Bernai is
and
here.
then I realized I could join from my phone, so I will be on my computer momentarily, but I'm in now.
All right. He's in. He's made it. All right. He's just out the back having a quick fag.
Right.
A quick cigarette. We can't really say that. We might offend people if we say fag.
You're going to get yourself censored, defunded right there. The Wokians are going to come for you, brother.
I know, right?
Every day is a festival.
What a crazy world, hey? Yeah, well, every day is fun, if you're gay, right? Has to be happy. That's what it means, isn't
exactly.
it? That's why they're the happiest
Rainbows
people. I mean, seriously, just go to TikTok and you'll see that they're the happiest, most together people on the plane, right? They got it together. Happy and
sure
gay.
Do. It's the
I think
only way to be.
They let the deacons in. It is. Just don't let the deacons in and those other 15 letters, and it's all good. But they got infiltrated by the letters,
a lot
right?
Of my friends exactly, and a lot of my friends that I do respect that do swing the other way, they absolutely hate that is now what represents them, and it's a travesty. And the two people that I knew growing up, friends that actually had the operation, both of them ended up committing suicide shortly thereafter because they were so lost. They regretted it, and it's a travesty. It really is.
It is. It's sad. I mean, the same. I've got friends and that swing that way, shall we say? And yeah, they hate all the finger pointing and the people saying you must change yourself, because it's an internal, it's a personal thing. What are people doing out there yelling about it? It doesn't make sense. And yeah, I've got a friend who's had the operation, and basically got there through being coerced, really, just psychologically manipulated by doctors, by psychiatrists, and by a partner, and ended up going through, had the operation, and regretted it pretty much instantly, and is now reverted back to living as a male. But obviously there's a few problems there, so yeah, it's a sad situation. That they just they break people down and then they break them apart.
Divide and conquer every way they can.
Sees, yeah, exactly. And this is the whole gender thing is it's
dividing
being pushed,
and conquer.
It's being pushed, but once again. Yeah, but it shows us who they worship as well, right?
Oh, absolutely.
The unnatural,
all part of that cult.
That's it is the cult of David M says, smoke cannabis instead and get your mind right. Well, I am not even going to.
Might be what I am doing right now.
I'm not going to comment on if that is a marijuana cigarette or not. I have my thoughts though. Why do you think Bernie is so smart? There you go. Changing gender is the ultimate first world problem. It's an extreme solution to an extreme and rare problem. It's more,
I have to say that
what?
marijuana might not be for everyone, but it's a heck of a lot better than the doctor-prescribed opiates that messed me up for 10 years that I finally got off of 2.5 years ago. And my clothing line is called Burn Cron for a reason, because I'm Bernie and I burn that chronic.
There you go.
And some may judge me for that and say, oh, what a stoner. And then they're the ones that drink and get behind the wheel and cause all sorts of damage, breaking up families and stuff. So it's like, if something's not for you, don't hate on others. Focus on your own life and being the best person that you can be.
Exactly. And pharmaceuticals, right? Most people, they won't even think about walking into a chemist and grabbing, some Panadol or whatever they're on. They pop it in, and then they'll go outside and yell at people that are smoking a plant. Quite weird.
It really, really is.
And the whole tobacco story, it's only legal if you buy it sprayed with chemicals, right? Cigarettes are legal to buy, but I don't know about Canada, but definitely in Australia, it is illegal to grow a tobacco plant. But you can go to the shop and buy them when they're processed and sprayed with chemicals.
It's the exact same here.
Could it be that tobacco is actually not bad for it? It's the same there, yeah.
Right, it's been
we've got a little bit of a delay.
For thousands of years.
Exactly.
All right,
the Indians, right?
On my laptop here. We will see you guys back in a moment. Back in the lab.
Callum knows where he is. Record that and play it backwards. Right? I know where I am. I know where I am. I am Wani. I'll have to record it. What does it say? You'll have to enlighten us. There you go. Brian A. Metz. How you going? Welcome. Smoking helps cleanse the lungs. Yes. Obviously, you're talking about natural grown raw tobacco. It doesn't, and it oxygenates the blood. How is that? It actually does the things that it actually is good for the things that they tell us it creates disease in. But it's all the chemicals they spray on it. Tobacco and weed are both sacred plants. Exactly. So they make them illegal. And it's like in where is it where they've made it legal? Colorado, is that right? They didn't decriminalize it, they just made it legal. Right. So they're still controlling it. It's not like, oh, it's a plant, just do what you want. It's, oh no, well, it's legal if you buy it from us, or maybe you can grow 1 or 2 plants, but pretty much we want you to buy it from us because we want to start an industry, we want to control it. And before you know it, they'll be selling packets of marijuana cigarettes sprayed with chemicals. Well, they won't actually, because the world is changing very fast. Marijuana, those who partake are usually jolly and easygoing. We need all the jolly we can get. I agree, watery. Agree totally. I watched something called the sacred plant. It's apparently the only plant that is the closest to human DNA. Marijuana, we have cannabis receptors in our brains. Cannabinoid receptors, which obviously they're present in the cannabis plant. So there you go. It is like Bernie said, it's one of those drugs that helps that, a lot of people are on it because they have been on harder drugs and pharmaceuticals and addicted to things. So it's, you know, they tell us it's a gateway drug, but it's actually, again, it's the opposite. It's the gate to get out. You know, it can help you get off those hard things. But this is the thing, everything they say is inverted. It's all backwards. It's all upside down. Walking axle, hello. It's legal in California, but at many places. I'll buy it at many places. There you go. See, in Perth, it's still, I mean, it's illegal, I guess. I don't know that they really enforce it much. But yeah, I know South Australia can grow 3 plants. Is that right? I believe. But that's the only state in Australia. Oh, actually, the ACT as well, right? I think it's legal in the ACT, and I think it was legal there first. And the ACT is where all the politicians live in Australia, basically. I'm just glad they left something for us common folk. I enjoy smoking the herb amongst other pleasures. There you go. So I think we have a consensus. Alcohol is the gateway drug. There you go. Will J. I totally agree. Great name there too. My youngest is called Jay. I need to cough. So yeah, I agree. Alcohol is definitely the gateway drug. And if it's not a gateway to drug to things like, you know, heroin and ice and all that, it's definitely a gateway drug to heavy pharmaceuticals, right? Get addicted to alcohol and they'll start trying to get you into psychologists, and they'll start trying to get you onto all types of drugs. So definitely a gateway drug. Psychedelic prawn. Oh, well, there you go. Are you in Perth as well? I did not know meth was big in Perth. I think there's a problem of it down in Mandurah. Also, if you're in Perth, connect up. Like, we're getting groups together. But I did not know that. I don't. I don't live in that world. Get off chemicals and alcohol and start to smoke up a storm for good health. There you go. Grow your own, right? Tobacco as well. Definitely. Yes, 3. I don't know what that means. Infant drug capital is the gateway drug. What's that called? Cowpole. Is that something they give to babies? Well, this is the thing. I mean, yeah, where do we want to start? As soon as you're born, they start jabbing you with stuff. So I guess that's the gateway, right? Parents letting the jab happen. Have I heard anything about the Elven genocide? There's very little information about it. I don't know a lot about it. I know it happened in New Zealand, 1700s ish, 1750s, late 70s, I think. And I've heard stories. That's probably the one I know the most. And I've heard other stories. No, I should look into it. Yeah, this is the thing. Like everything, the information that's coming out at the moment is just ridiculous. And our perception and the way that we see the world is changing so quickly that we've really got to look into everything. Oh, there you go, Rowdy. You're from Perth, so if you want to join up in our groups, send me an email or what do they call it? A request on Facebook if you're on there. There's all links below. We've got Telegram, but I think Discord is the one that I'm getting help with. I hope, because we want to have it so we can have like literally, you can go in and chat, and you can go Perth. I'm from Perth, and everyone there is from Perth. So then it makes it a lot easier to create groups. What the Flock TV? You are here, Paul. Hello, welcome. Common sense is a drug I wish more have. Yes, I agree, Paul. Definitely. Same genus. Pushkin Castle. And that is a great castle, by the way. Sets them up for alcohol and drugs later, yeah. Dependency, and it's also the dependent. Everything is the same. Everything is not, well, I guess a fractal, but not really a fractal. Everything is like a hologram, right? A hologram is where every piece contains all of the whole. So if you have a hologram that has a picture in it, if you smash that and pick a piece of it up, that piece will contain the whole picture that was in the original hologram, the original piece. So that's what a hologram is. Everything is like that. And again, I've lost my train of thought. God. What the fuck? Yeah, I was saying something, but everything is just, it's the same. It's like, water going down the plug hole, right? It's like, that's the same as a whirlpool. That's just a bigger iteration of it. And they're the same as, tornadoes and cyclones and all this kind of stuff. Everything's the same. We just get it in different levels and different expressions. And I wish I knew what my point was, because then that would make much more sense. But do you trust the bottlers? That's a very good point. All right, for everything we drink, what do they put in the bottle? But everything we eat too. This is why we need to get back to growing our own food. Why doesn't Leviticus say eating human is unclean? I give up, because Leviticus well, maybe it didn't cross his mind that people would consider eating humans. I don't know. Leviticus, you're a naughty boy. Tell people not to eat people. But I mean, this is the thing, right? And this is what people will say. Did he tell people not to eat metal? Bernie, yes, Bernie is here. Is he in? We can see him. He's probably not talking. He's just sitting there.
Here I
am. Adian.
Hello.
There he is. Adian Guess. Hello all. Hi, Campbell. Would love to send me pics of Strathpeffer in northeast Highlands of Scotland. Tartaria for sure. Big respect. Yes. Is that how I say it? Adian?
I am
yes,
jealous.
Send me an email.
Jealous of that scenery and that architecture around there. My goodness.
Behind me. Yes. Well, we'll jump into it in a minute now, Bernie. Here we have, and Scotland. Yes, Scotland, also known as Scotia, right? Scotia in the old world. Yeah. Anyone who's got cool stuff, definitely. My email is in the about section on my channel. So send me an email. And I know I'm late on emails. I am trying to get to it. People keep wanting to talk to me though. Leave me alone, people. All right. So
the Dijin that is in the spirit of the alcohol. As an alchemist, that is a major thing of you connecting through the spirit of the plant, and that's why alcohol is called spirits. The alchemists are actually giving credit for inventing alcohol in the Western society, and it has to do with why it's called spirits. It's each grain, each plant that the alcohol is made from, that's the spirit of that plant, and why you have a little bit different effect from each type of alcohol. And that, like 007 just pointed out, that there is the Dijin, the demon within of that alcohol that will take control as you're put sideways into the etherical realm, into that spiritual realm, the connector being one of these mind-altering substances, the psychedelics, but also the dissociatives. And that when you start chasing it, when you need it, because you're not focusing on your inner self and your interconnected consciousness, and you're using and getting addicted to the drug, to the spirits, or the portal that is these chemicals into that spiritual realm. But it's that the demon of that spirit, of that plant, will give you the side of, or its own effect, I guess. So its own altered reality into it, as opposed to if you're meditating, if you're astral projecting into it, the consciousness yourself. And that these synthetic drugs now that have no natural spirit, that are just straight a soul stealing, essentially, connection into this other realm, that's why it steals the soul, and it lets these other demons, these other entities in, that take control of your emotional response. That's where people get the psychological effects, where it's actually other entities that are body snatchers. That is the body snatcher right there. And that's how they take control of the mind. And this is actually old occult, esoteric, alchemical knowledge and teachings. And that's why through the churches and the old world philosophy and understanding, why they have the exorcisms and stuff like that, because they knew that these quote unquote psychological or mental issues are in fact a spiritual one and much more deep into it. And thus they want to trick us into sacrificing and giving up our own free will, and them taking control of it through emotional impulse, through being a drone, through the drugs and all of these other methods that they use.
It is, I mean, because the Indians, the Native Americans, when they talk about tobacco, they talk about the same thing. It's the spirit of the plant that they're connecting with. It's not, and of course that's why we're not allowed to have that, right? That's why they need to spray all the chemicals. And God knows, who even knows if it's tobacco in cigarettes? It could be anything.
Well, and it's every other chemical, like you were pointing out, the fertilizers, the pesticides and whatnot that are spread, those are the toxins. But then it's like, if it's natural chemicals added in, then you're dealing with the spirits of those on top of the tobacco. And if it's the fake artificial chemicals, that's why it's so toxic and so poisonous. And it's not just like the First Nation people, but every shamanic, every original culture, as well as the Celtics, the Druids, all of these ancient and in touch, the most spiritually in touch or raw, and we in the West have labeled them tribalistic, but in fact they are the most in touch with Gaia, with Mother Earth, and all of them focus on these psychedelics, not the opiates, not the amphetamines. Like, those all have their medical purposes within their cultures, but it's the psychedelics that are the trials to connect through the spiritual realm into Mother Earth, into finding your spiritual journey and hearing the realm and connecting with that etherical spiritual realm that we are immersed in.
Definitely. And they love to imprint the belief that tribal is backwards, right? Less developed, but of course less developed in what, the 3D world, but much more developed in other ways. But it's the same as everything. That it's the same as everything. This cult, whatever we want to call them, these dark forces, their whole agenda is to get things that are created and natural and make an unnatural copy of them, and then sell that to us as natural. You see with like turpentine, right? Turpentine, that's a natural healing thing from trees. Now, if you try and drink the stuff from the hardware shop, it'll kill you, because it's like with the spirits, chemical. They're no longer made from trees. Yeah, they're just made from chemicals. Maybe the really expensive ones might be actually fermented at the start, but most of it's just artificial. Yep, they strip away all the nature, and they just give us this soulless facade. And like you say, it opens us up to these entities, which are, I mean, this is why psychology doesn't work, because the people with these, they've got entities that they've
taken the spiritual side out of it.
These terms. Yeah,
and it's they take the spiritual side out and the conscious side out, and trick people into believing that they are this insignificant, weak, little, powerless non-entity, when in fact we are all universally equal creations that are a fractal of a division of the ultimate creation and source energy and consciousness. And without the spirituality, without the consciousness, how are you ever going to solve something psychological, which is the understanding of the brain of consciousness itself? It's absolutely ridiculous. And that's why there's just the upper middle class echelon of Western society is failing so badly, because They aren't part of this manipulative elite, and they are more manipulated by the elite and following in this matrix programming box than anybody else. That even when they succeed, the ultimate achievement of Western society's standard, and have all this money, the big home, the flashy this and that material things, they're still ending up, lots of them, committing suicide, committing adultery, committing all sorts of horrific crimes, having families that fail, falling for the operations of self-mutilation and everything else. And it's that they're out of touch with their own inner self and inner spirituality. Sorry.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, and look at the children that these people raise. I mean, God, I mean, you just look at celebrity children, and it's just like a freak show. Like but these are broken people. I mean, and you know, we know there's a lot more going on behind the scenes there as well. But yeah, that's ultimately the what they do. They invert everything, get everything that's natural and made by the creator, and this is what they're trying to do. You know, the dark force wants to be the false god, right? And so he wants to be the creator. That's why he's trying to create everything in his image, which is false and crap and soulless and all the plastic and crap we see. That's literally the dark side trying to be the god of this created synthetic world. That's the gameplay here.
And taking away
using us
your
to create
own,
it, right? Through
taking away your own godly power that we all have within us, and tricking us into being powerless drones, where a lot of the stories of these drone entities or whatnot, or different dimensional life forms and stuff, it's like they don't have this spirit, their own unique soul and spiritual existence, and that's why they are so jealous of humanity and the individual creation that each of us are and have within us, the infinite soul that exists within you. And that when anybody comes to the acceptance and understanding, and I use this physics example, energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed from one form to another. Your spiritual energy, your life energy, it's when you leave this plane in your physical body, it doesn't disappear into anything. It's not YOLO. It's you're transformed into your higher infinite existence of soul spiritual energy, that it exists now, thus it exists forever. Your soul is infinite. And once you realize that, the understanding of death before dishonor, the karmatic strike against your soul, is something that, you know, you rather sit how like the ancient cultures, like the sacrifice is misunderstood on a lot. I believe that how they put tribalism as like groups against each other and warring and this and that. No, it's more like the Japanese, where when you're dishonored, or if you're forced to, so my own ancestry, the Doukhobors, my great-great-grandfathers documented being dragged to death behind a horse by some of the Bolsheviks because they had what was called the burning of the arms. They refused to fight against the monarchy that was the previous Tsar and whatnot in the revolution, and it was called the burning of the arms because they burnt all of the weapons that the Bolsheviks put on them to join the army, and then were tortured to, well, my great-great-grandfather tortured to death, and many others were, because death before dishonor. They understood that the soul is infinite, and it's better to let the destiny or outcome happen to them, as opposed to going against the ultimate sin, sort of thing. And
yeah, well, this we can't see it that way because we've been so cut off, and literally they've created a whole education system to try and make us believe that everything's physical and there's nothing else out there.
Backwards world.
Clearly,
it's not education, it's indoctrination.
Yep, exactly. It's just silliness. All right, shall we show some pictures?
I was literally thinking that at the exact same time as you, brother. Like, all right, time that we might finally 2 hours in, 1.5 hour after I get in here to
Yeah, I
finally
know,
get onto
right?
the topic of the title.
All right, so let me share my screen 1 minute.
And Amber says hello and thank you for your kind wishes earlier. She's
Oh,
resting back at her house now and going to enjoy her day off work
feeling
tomorrow.
better.
Much better now that she's
Oh,
out of
nice,
there.
nice.
Oh,
Yes, I
synchronicity.
know,
You got
work.
it, Kate. And synchronicity is when the universe speaks to you.
It is.
Ooh,
Let me
where is
just
that?
do that. All right. Oh gosh, now I'm gonna have to. That is somewhere. That I was called Dewey Fort, and I don't know, but it is obviously on the water. And as you can see, I mean, this. Look at the canal; it goes into the ocean. So is this been washed in?
So many
Because we
of
see
those
so many of
old
these,
ones.
don't we, that have got walls right on the edge, yeah. But
And
most of the water
especially the
systems we see are
maps of the
freshwater,
old
right?
ones, like those 1600 and 1500 maps of all the star cities. If you can bring up a couple of them along the way, they all show just ridiculous amounts of canals. And then
Yeah,
what is the channel? You Column Gimli there has done some great videos on
Colm, yep.
like Denmark and Holland and whatnot to this day, that just filled with the canals that they are the remaining I guess least destroyed. Maybe that's what they were going for in World War One and World War Two, to annihilate the most advanced of this former Starfort Citadel civilization. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's becoming apparent now. World War II, they were just ransacking cities and destroying old tech and all types of stuff. But talking about water, obviously water is a big part, and here we have a frozen water crystal. And what does it look like? Looks like a star fort. It's even got the citadel in the middle. Right. So fractals. These are
and water
clearly
fractals.
related, yeah, to energy and to water and to everything. And you can see it's all geometry, right? It's all the same shapes
Cam,
we
do you
see
want to?
everywhere.
Sorry to interrupt, but do you want to take off the comment that you have on screen as blocking a bit of the picture there that you had? Sorry to interrupt you.
There we go.
But
No, you're all right.
Dr. Emoto's work.
Again, this is obviously water. Yep, this is water that you give bad energy to. Looks like that. And this is water that he's prayed to. The photo on the right is the same water refrozen after having been blessed by Dr. Emoto. This is severely polluted water. So this is the same water. He's just literally put intention into it. And look what it's done. Right?
Restructured.
And they tell us that what we need. Yeah, but what do they tell us we need to get clean water? We need, filtration systems and chlorine and more chemicals. This is, of course, Vedic or Hindu, and the same kind of fractal shapes. We literally see star forts where they do this, this 180-degree turn sort of thing. Where they have a star fort the same shape on top of each other, but they're all turned. We see that everywhere. They even got the boundary on the outside. And this is a Sri Yantra.
And those are specific actual resonance patterns of certain frequencies that these ancient cultures clearly understood to a much higher degree than we do, and that they were somehow harnessing the energy from these resonance frequency patterns through their construction of the architecture and device, like what you have shown there, and that I really, and Calum there has a good point, chakras, and that how they have those specific, it's not mantra, what did you just call it? What those are
Sri
there?
Yantra.
Yeah.
This it's a 3D depiction of the Sri Yantra, which is a Vedic symbol, basically.
Yeah, so those Vedic symbols that they have for the chakras, that they know the specific frequency pattern and what those drawings actually are. Yeah, like right there. So that's when you have it in the 2D, it's a 2D representation of the actual physical geometry of these specific frequencies. And what I've just like seen and figured out and realized is that those exact same frequencies, when you put it into the actual hertz frequency that geometry actually is, when it's in the cymatic, putting it into the 3D, like into the water, when it manifests into that, those frequencies are the exact same frequency that those same colors of light chakra are. Like each color of the chakra, these 2D patterns, these old designs, those are actually the geometry of the mathematical same frequency of each of those colors in the electromagnetic light wave spectrum. So that is super advanced, high dimensional physics that we are like, I just realized and figured out, but like they understood even down to the actual measurement understanding of visible colored light frequency, and that those symbols they've created are actual, like the code, the actual geometrical code that represents those exact same color dimension light wave spectrums, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, everything's frequency, but frequency can be expressed in sound, in form, geometry, all these different things, and color. So every frequency has a form and a geometry associated with it, and also a color. And yeah, these people were building more than just the geometry into this stuff. They were building as many expressions of that frequency as they could, basically, into these structures
and
to mimic it, I guess.
They understood the dimensional geometry, like the coding, the universe coding of the actual Hertzian frequencies that these specific colors, like the actual color light wave is in the electromagnetic spectrum, like that you can actually take that into the hertz of and measure the color light, like in the visual light waves, that like yellow is a certain hertz, blue is a certain hertz frequency, and so on, and that those actual Mandela patterns are the 2D code, actual same representation as what those light frequencies are, and will create through sound into the cymatic physical manifestation in your water, in your sound, sand and whatnot. I know I'm putting together quite the word jumble soup there, but it's so complex, so advanced. It's just mind blowing to actually comprehend what it is that we are seeing, and the language that it is. It's a higher dimensional geometric language that we don't understand or are just only starting to, but clearly they spoke in it and used it, and it's a higher dimensional technology that basically is the structure of the universe.
Yeah. I mean, and just it's got to be. I mean, it can't have been information that was worked out, really, can it? Because it's so complex and so intense. Like it's one thing to know what a frequency is, but then to work out all the different expressions of that frequency, and then to even have the concept of building that into some kind of structure, let alone actually doing it, is just so far outside anything that we've been taught to think. It's just ridiculous. And what they're doing is mimicking nature, because look at this, right? This is a crop circle. And now crop circles, right? There's more than one type, but basically there is a type that is created by earth energies. And it's the same thing. I mean, maybe they started off watching crop circles, who knows? But this is an expression of the energy in this area. And it's come up and it's made this shape because the energy, the frequency that's come out is associated with this shape. This is the expression of it. So we get these, right? And there's video out there of them being formed by sprites, basically.
Right,
and,
by the plasma
we're
orbs.
told, obviously, the plasma orb things, which just appear and then disappear, and everyone wants us to believe it's all done by aliens, but not everything has to be aliens, right?
It's
I
our
think it's
ancestors.
just showing us. Yeah, and this is the thing, how much these could be full of information too, regarding types of stuff. I mean, that could be the Earth talking to us, literally. Oh, what have I done here?
I couldn't agree more, and it usually happens on the ley lines too, right? There's a good movie. It was released on Netflix, I think, about 6 months ago, and it's some native kids in Hawaii reconnecting with their grandfather and the traditions of Hawaiian people. And through it, they show these plasma orbs as their ancestors, as the spirits of the ancestors, and they would manifest and go back into the ether, essentially, but come throughout it. And that a lot of these indigenous and, I guess, ancient cultures understood and know. And as well, at the same time, I don't know how many people of the listeners and yourself, Cambell, are aware of Dan Winter's work, but he's a plasma physicist, and he as well talks and is connected with a lot of the First Nation community, but in his super advanced plasma teachings, plasma technology, talks about how plasma orbs are conscious and how they are the spirit and the ancestors, and essentially what the essence that we are. And plasma is a conscious, higher dimensional energy form, and there is a good chance that it's both higher dimensional entities as well as ourselves coming from the higher realm. And Jerry Wills, I don't know if you know Jerry Wills, Expeditions TV, him and his wife Kathy, they do really great work. He's actually teamed up with Rex over at Leak Project a few times lately, but they've gone down to South America a whole bunch of times, and they actually go into crazy, like ancient megalithic sites throughout Peru, Bolivia, and whatnot. And they're very modest, good people connected with the locals, where the locals take them off this regular beaten path to like the true treasures and stuff like that. He's actually got a couple videos where he sidesteps the armed guards and goes into these underground tunnels that supposedly go underground all the way from the tip of South America to the tip of North America, as there are also supposedly other ones throughout all of Asia, Europe, and pretty much everywhere around the world. But there's a couple videos he has on his Patreon there of him actually going in and exploring them, and like it's ridiculously real and cool and whatnot. But he also gives a couple stories of experiences he had at one at, I believe, Chichen Itza in Mexico, and the other one in Peru at oh my goodness, the city in the clouds there. I can't think of the name right now. It drives me nuts.
Machu
The
Picchu.
very Machu Picchu, that one there, yeah, where he was tested and tried by what he believed to be some sort of interdimensional entities. One took form as a human, and then when he got to the top and did the right thing, it turned into a plasma orb on him and flew away. And you know, the didn't look like he was lying by the expressions on his face when he told that story. And it's something else.
That's
and,
interesting.
You know,
that reminds me of yeah, it reminds me of that story in the Bible where the two angels come in and someone feeds, you know, gives them dinner or something, and basically the moral is, you know, it's basically be good to everyone because you'll never know who is actually an angel because they're
right,
just going to look like a
exactly.
normal person, right?
That's a
Yeah,
very good
it's
connection, and a lot of
pretty
people
much
can
kind of the
relate
same
that
thing. Yeah.
it could be guardian angels as well, right? It's some sort of, you know, there's both good and bad always. There's always a balance in the universe, and it's your own free will. You choose whether to act upon and focus on the good or the negative. And, you know, if you focus on being a good, wholesome, real, honest individual, honest soul, then you will attract these higher dimensional spirits that are there to help you, and these entities that are there for the good. And there are guardian angels out there and whatnot. And, you know, don't listen, don't give in to the devil, the demon on your shoulder telling you to have another drink or to get into that fight or to belittle somebody. You listen, you take your own initiative to do the better thing, and then you will be rewarded by that guardian angel, and that guardian angel will come and rescue you at your time of despair when you least expect it, from the good actions you've already chosen to do yourself prior in your life. You know, you have to do the selflessness, and it's always rewarded. Karma is the realest thing you will ever experience, but you'll only experience it on this plane if you are in touch with the higher dimensional self, and you will be completely oblivious to it, and it won't affect you on this realm if you do not engage in that higher dimensional realm while in this incarnation. But you best believe and understand that it's coming for you in the next one.
It's I mean, this is I guess, you know, faith, right, that Christianity talks about, and having faith and talking about, it's just having belief that, you know, whatever God, the universe, spirit has got your back, and that you are meant to be. And as soon as you get in that energy, you know, and you match that frequency, right, you match the higher frequency, then the lower frequency entities can't get in, but the high ones can. You can then access more information. But it's the belief things. You know, so many people find it hard to just step in and just go, I'm just going to give it a go. You know, it's always this 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know, I don't really want to leave the system. Oh, that looks really good, but I heard someone say something bad about it, so I'm just going to focus on the bad bit about it for a bit. I mean, you've got to understand, this is all your mind, or, you know, the devil in your mind playing tricks on you. You know, it's the same as, yeah, have another drink. That's the same as, oh, focus on the negative information about this topic or this person. It's the same thing. Just trying to get you down in that negative frequency. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
The
Yep.
self-fulfilling
If you think
prophecy,
things are crap,
the negative feedback
what's
loop.
that saying? If you think
Do unto others as you want done to yourself. Sorry.
Well, that one too. Yeah, no, there's one. If you think you're right, or if you think you can, you're right, and if you think you can't, you're right.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So basically, if you believe you can do it, yeah, you will. If you believe you can't do it, then you can't.
You
It's
won't,
that simple.
because you can't. You've already established that you're failing before you even try, because you believe that you can't, thus you can't. That is the reality you have manifested for yourself. It is the law of attraction. Absolutely.
And it's that you
definitely
self-fulfilling prophecy, right? It's like, I know I can do this, then you can, and you will keep doing it. You'll keep trying and working towards it until you do achieve that, because you know you can and you will. Or if you're sad, you're depressed, I'll never get anywhere, I can't do it. Well, you never will, because that's all you are believing. That is the reality you are creating for yourself and boxing into yourself. And that the universe works in inertia, right? And the more that you go with fulfilling the belief of knowing what you can do and working towards it, the more it will attract to you like-minded people that are doing the same thing, that are achieving the same things, and build and create. Or if you're misery loves company, right? Thus, if you're miserable, you're going to attract these more miserable people that, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened to me again. Oh, it's the people that I surround myself. How do these people keep coming? Well, it's because that's what you're believing in. That's what you've set your reality to, that negative feedback loop. And that as soon as you're able to understand and get out of it and get to your regular consciousness of your free will, and then you can take control, right? Because that fear, that sadness, that depression, that anger, that emotional response, that's on that lower vibrational wave of thinking, that lower vibrational frequency, which literally takes you down from being able to consciously think before you act to impulsively emotionally acting, and therefore you're not thinking about your actions, and you fall into that self-repeating negative feedback loop, that vortex of despair. And where once you're able to get just to the basic three common third dimension consciousness of choosing your free will to consciously decide, consciously act on what you're doing, after you do it for a few days in a row, you get to that month of consciously working, of stepping out of that negativity, of building, of creating that better life, then you have that inertia going towards you. And then you're going to wake up, and instead of like being down, not thinking or whatnot, you're going to get up, you're going to get active, you're going to connect with yourself, and you're going to connect to your higher consciousness and be that happy, joyful, love, light, higher dimensional thinking, connecting to your higher consciousness. It's the Masons, I believe, call it the Christ consciousness, or also the Gnostics as well. But it's just connecting to your soul state, your higher self, your higher consciousness. And also that as you you're vibrating higher on these elevated thoughts, you're then able to also tap into the universal consciousness, that collective consciousness, whether it's with the ancestors, the Akashic record, the spiritual realm, the universe. You're connected to source and source consciousness. And then it's amazing how good things start going, and how out of nowhere opportunities and rewards and like-minded people and success starts piling up. And before you know it, it's an unstoppable force. And that's what it's all about. Don't limit yourself in your belief of you not being able to do something, that you're not worthy of something, that you're not capable of it, because you are. You're literally capable of whatever you set your mind to. And that's what they've also misdirected us with, saying the placebo effect. No, that is actually you setting your mind to something, you believing in it and making it so. Mind over matter. And that it's all about the power of the mind, of manifesting. We are creators, and creation is what defines you. Are you going to create a living hell, or are you going to create a living heaven? And that don't give in to these manipulators. Understand we have the power. We are the creators. We are the builders. And that's why we are all here together right now doing what we are doing. And sorry, I will let you talk for a little bit and mute myself out, because
no,
is there the interference of the furnace going though? No, that's good.
No, I can't hear that.
Okay, very good.
Is that a fireplace? A furnace? Is that like a fireplace?
Heat gas furnace or
we
something coming out of the side.
Is that where they have a machine down in the basement and then it all gets pumped up. I've seen American shows.
Yeah,
I just don't know about it.
yeah, it's
I don't
natural
know.
gas fired central heating system. My
Heating
dad had a
system,
second one
basically.
just for the
Yeah,
basic.
okay.
Yeah, it's the heating system, central home heating system. I guess that's not what they're called over there. Hey, or are you?
No,
I guess
exactly.
Alberta has such abundant natural gas that I'm just used to it, thinking that it's normal everywhere. But
It's all
you
everywhere.
probably have
Yeah.
electrical heaters, or you don't even need
we
heaters
get
in
it piped
Australia.
in,
What am
but
I saying? It's an air conditioner,
no,
probably.
not really.
Is it every hope there?
We have aircon. We're very
Gotcha.
eloquent, you know. We've got our heaters and our aircon. We're very expressive in our language. What's that? It's a heater. What does it do? It heats. Okay. What's that? An aircon. What is it? It conditions the air. There you go. Why are they called air conditioners? They don't actually condition the air. They just change the temperature or put more moisture into it. They don't
Or are they
don't.
conditioning it with chemicals? That's a good point.
Oh yeah, maybe they're creating a condition in your body. All right, let's have a look at some tech, some old world techie tech, stuffy stuff like this. So this one is this is Santorio Nacio. I think this one's in Spain. And yeah, so I mean, this is look what we've got at the end here. This is, I mean, that's like the monstrances, right? That's like it's like
big time.
It's like a really big monstrance. It's like the intermediate, right? It's not quite a chapel. It's not quite a monstrance, but look at that. And of course, they come and they put their their idols in here, but
idol
it's not the
worshipping.
best resolution. But exactly, right? Look at the size of that thing.
And it's the same geometric
that's ridiculous
waveguide antenna that those are actually, the geometry of them are. And when they're built out of the metals, the resonating wood, it's a dipole or a dielectric that they put with the stone, and then the metal conductor capacitors in there. And that is a high technology Antiquitech device. It's just crazy. Once you see it, once you know it and recognize it, it's ridiculous what's been hiding in plain sight.
Just in your face. Yeah, isn't it? It's just literally everything. I mean, and just the architecture is still, what these arches are, I'm not sure, but can you see on the inside they've all got, art on the inside of every single arch, all the same, and every pillar is exactly the same, red brick, and all just repeated, all equidistant.
And the art,
and then,
they're all
of course,
2D,
the big framing for the big machine.
Right? And it's 2D geometry, which are these actual geometric frequencies. It's a whole higher dimensional language that is encoded into these. And it's so advanced that it blows my mind every time I see it.
It does. I mean, they just literally must have had a different language, been speaking on a different level. I mean, look at this. We have problems building a dome. I mean, look at this bit here. Arch, half dome into a half dome. You've got these sideways domes into a full dome. I mean, it's just, talk about trying to work hard for yourself. And of course, all they do is come in and paint pictures everywhere and say, look, see, we told you it's a church. Look at the pictures. But I mean, just ridiculous. Look at this one. Antiquitech, anyone? Got a fractal mirror here. Now this should tell us, or at least give us a clue as to what the frequency of this place is. You know, these fractal windows, the original ones. I mean, look, just look at this. Just, and again, the same pattern repeated, equidistant, right? These, of course, they call swinging buttresses, and they tell us this was an invention so they could build bigger chapels. But of course, some of the biggest, you know, or cathedrals, some of the biggest ones in the world don't have these. So what are flying buttresses? I mean, look at this. And of course, again, they just knock off. Look at this. Every single spire has this on the top, right? See them all up here? They've all got these tops on them. They don't have these statues. Right? It's all pretty much the same kind of thing. See, like little cross down here as well. You can see out here, crosses, right? But then they want us to believe that on these three that there was statues. I mean, clearly that's a retrofit. They're not even the right size when you look at them. When you know the look of this architecture, see how they're bigger at the base than the base underneath them? That's not how these people build. Look, there's no examples of that. When they're going up, it's always getting smaller. It never gets smaller and then goes big unless it's at the top. So this place, right? This is, let me have a look. Got to check all this out. This is, I don't know. I believe it's in Spain. We've got a better picture of it. Oh, hang on. That's the inside. This is the inside of it. Again, you know, nice Moorish arch. I mean, just ridiculousness. And all they really do is come and paint. And look, in this painting, they've been so clever as to paint another cathedral, right? With all these symbols on it. So, yeah, of course we build all the cathedrals.
And all the false idols.
There's a painting.
Right? It's so backwards on how they've claimed the false idol worshipping, yet that's what they've put up in what the current religion, backwards world religion, is actually doing. And it's ridiculous. And like all of those geometries, those are all cymatic frequencies. Like I can't wait until there's a real AI that actually reads and understands this higher dimensional language, and at that point, the real history and truth of humanity will be unstoppable. It will come out for all to see. The emperor will have no clothing.
I mean, you can almost see how they've put a layer on this top bit here, can't you? It looks like that whole bit's a facade, but if you look, and it kind of, see how it kind of looks like this, but see how this is really 3D, how they've literally, like, well, not carved, but you know, they've got in behind it and cleared out the stuff behind that. Yeah, like they've literally, they're sitting up off the granite, where this is not as good. See how it's not as good. It's not really lifted up. That bit is kind of, you know, they've sort of carved in there, but
absolutely,
it's not sitting up off the rock like this.
And look at how it's like plastered in to the left there. To the left there, Cambell, the guy, the little statue figurine, like all of those guys. Look at how they're plastered in. It's a different stone. It's not the marble. It's like it's this almost sandstone like thing that's been facaded on over top of whatever the original marble granite was.
Yeah, and these are 3D, but they don't go back into the wall. They're stuck on the wall, right? All this stuff, see, all of it goes back into the wall, all of it. You know, if it's not completely carved out, it has inlays like that. It goes back. This is just stuck on. It only comes forward.
The difference between the facade and it actually being part of the structure itself, right? Where the old stuff, you can see like those pillars and all the carvings that it's actually like supporting. It's part of the structural architecture as opposed to the 2D or just barely 3D facade that's covering up probably insane information that was the original work.
Exactly.
And look at like those
exactly. So all the places this is, none of it's structural. Oops.
That painting there, though, like that's some Tartarian technology too, where they have those caps with the capacitor at the very top, like that antenna, and then their canes or poles almost look like there's some plasma. No, on the people too, though, Campbell, if you go down just a little bit, they're like, look at all of those hats where they have the little antennas on them, and those canes of theirs. Right, like that's some sort of energy harvesting, schematic, chakra increasing technology. I almost guarantee it. And then their robes are full of these metals of gold, silver conductors, your jewelry resonators, your crystal memory, like that's just higher advanced technology that we have no understanding of.
Exactly. And even see these crooks, right? That's supposed to be come from shepherd's crooks. They're almost the same as that. This stuff that we see everywhere. You can't see, the fern frondy kind of stuff that we see everywhere. So yeah, this place is silly. Now have a look at this picture. Hang on, no, that's the wrong one. Okay, have a look at this picture. This is a part of that first church that we saw with that massive monstrance thing in it. And again, just what why do this pillar like this and make it so difficult? Just madness. Oh, here we go.
Oh wow!
Look at that one. Star Wars, right? Remember, in Star Wars, I think it's Jabba the Hutt's where Jabba lives. Looks pretty much like this.
That is one heck of an energy generating device.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
That is ridiculous.
Got everything. Got that balls, got that dome. This is all copper.
And no wonder people feel this magical energy when they step into these places of worship, because they're actually stepping into these energy fields that are being generated by this giant piece of technology.
Exactly. And that's, that could have been used as a trick, Oh, can you feel the glory of God and all this kind of stuff?
Right, exactly.
And all they were doing, they just found these buildings that were still working. Got some swinging buttresses on this one. But look at these steeples. Not the best contrast, unfortunately. But
I really love John Levy's work. And how John Levi goes in on trying to contact actual construction firms and architects to get some sort of quote on a flying buttress structure, and they all just there's no way you're serious, that's impossible, right? They're just, they know it's a joke or a false quote off the get-go. Just in how the heck could we possibly build that? There's no way. And it's yes, okay, so we can't easily reproduce that in any manner in today's world, yet we're told that just some peasants with a couple of chisels and rope somehow managed to put these together, but they couldn't even read, but somehow came up with these insane blueprints
in 1 year.
Right?
In 1 year.
Check out
this. I just found this one. It's not very techy, but look at that for a what do you reckon there? It's literally joined into the rock here. It's got
that's plasma catastrophe.
I mean, definitely. Look at this door. Look at that. How short it is, and this.
That's a little,
I mean, look. I think that goes into the wall.
That's literally a hobbit home right there.
That's pretty.
Is that called Bag End?
That's. Yeah, look at exactly right. Look at the. Oh, here you go. Now this is the Hobbit entrance, and we've got the human entrance up here. It's a bit bigger.
No doubt that it's
this is
smashed
in India.
through the wall and not the original. Wow. I've seen this one before. Where is that one? That is like a pyramid
India,
and a half.
I'm pretty sure that one is Pakai Church, Augustine, in the Philippines.
Wow.
So this is in the Philippines, right? A country that we're told has pretty much only hit technology, in the 60s or something. Basically, when we went in with it, we're told that they never had tech or anything, just tribal people. But you get this, and you can see this is pretty worn, right? But you can imagine clean that up, and it looks like the stuff that we see in Europe everywhere. It's all the same.
No chance to
Only
get in
the
and have
facade
the
has been
facade yet.
changed, right? Yeah, exactly.
They haven't refacaded
Only
it.
the facade has been changed to protect the guilty, but just the same stuff. This is the one in Spain.
Barcelona, I believe.
What's it called? Sagrada Familia in Barcelona. Is it Sagrada? Oh no, maybe it's not. I thought it was like the Drippy building, but I don't think it is the Gaudy building. But look at the top of this.
Right,
they're
that's
still doing something up there.
You can get, and like the original photos of it, where it looks like half of it's been blown up. Yeah, I need to go there one day. The new facade, the false idols.
Got to have the false idols everywhere, right? And how's this, right? Look what we have below here, right? What's this?
Disgusting.
This could be easily construed as what the money changes. What did Jesus do when he went in and saw people trading in yeah, right? Flip the tables over and told them to get out. Now look what we're doing in front of this.
It couldn't be more blatantly in your face, right? Like, here,
come on, guys.
Jesus is lesson of the money changers being kicked out, and there they are, right in front, charging to get into the supposed Jesus worshipping place. Like, could you get more false idols?
A cathedral that's supposed to be a place of God. Yep. And on top of it all, they stole it, and refacaded it. So that's there you go. That's how reality in a picture, guys. That's what's going on.
And it's just like the 1800 pictures where it's like the crazy architecture and then our new little wooden shacks. Like it's our new little pay booths out front.
Exactly. Little buddy monetize everything. This is just ridiculous. And look, you can even see all the wires coming off.
Right? I bet that's still generating electricity for sure.
To ground it or something? It's probably to ground it to stop it sparking or something.
Yeah, arcing.
Look at that. Look at that dome.
It's always a dipole of like the big in the center of the main cathedral, that the tallest spire there, and then like to the right there, that other building, that's where the ground, where if it's hit by lightning, it would come into the top spire and then it would go out of the second bottom one from the ground up, right? Because whenever lightning strikes, there's always two strikes, one coming down, one going up. So between those two, so underneath clearly is something connected and that would harness that energy and use it, and the advanced Antiquitech beneath for whatever these devices power. But I guarantee that it would be
they're literally lightning. Literally, it's a lightning rod, but instead of dissipating the energy, they're then catching it.
Exactly, and that always there's some that comes up from the ground, right, momentarily, like a fraction of a second after the connection from the sky to the ground to the taller spire antenna, harvesting that atmospheric energy. Then they would probably also be harvesting the energy coming from the ground going up, and that is a perfect dipole circuit tree that you will see in almost all of these structures in cathedrals and architecture.
All right. And that is, of course, St. Basil's Cathedral in Moscow. God, I'll learn to speak soon.
Moscow, Red
Cathedral
Square.
in Moscow. All right. Check this out.
Oh, right. How was
What
that
do you
built?
think of? Yeah, how exactly? Exactly.
Because it
How?
goes several
Why?
stories down even further into the gully, right?
Yeah. That building underneath it, right? We can't even see the bottom of it. We've got at least,
Oh, I guess there is the
one
river
double
there.
story, one single story. You can see the river down here. So this is.
I was thinking of
I
another
mean, you
one,
can
but
see
yeah,
how
even
far
that,
down's the river, though. It's like it's 5
like
stories
that's
down,
6 stories
and
at
that's these
least.
big stories. Oh, at
Like
least.
6 modern
At
stories
least. I
at
mean, look at the
least
size of
below
that
it,
story there, right? Look at that. That's a person, right? That's a person
right?
there.
Yeah.
Look at the
So
size of
6
that
down,
level,
6 up.
right?
And look at that
That's literally what?
Antiquitech.
1, 2. That's at least 4 levels there. But yeah, this is the interesting part, right? Look at this.
Oh,
I mean,
we need to get some like higher
and
thermal energy cameras on these buildings and this Antiquitech and see what sort
yeah.
of
I wonder if
EM spectrum
even
wave energy we're
Krillian.
coming. Right? Yeah, especially the Krillian.
Mm,
That's a great call. That is what we need to
Krillian.
start doing and
Yeah.
filming on these sort of still semi-functioning buildings. And once we get that there, that's the ultimate scientific evidence that proves these are higher
Proof, yeah.
technology buildings that serve way more advanced purpose than what they will admit. And look at the shanties right above it too. Our modern shanty once again.
We're gonna build it. Yeah. Up here, these are the people who built it, right?
Every single
like, yeah, we're
time
gonna
there's the
build a
wooden
new
like
machine.
tin wood modern
Oh,
structure
yeah.
homes, and then always this grandness that supposedly lesser people built. Like, just it's so
Yeah,
backward.
exactly. This was built, 1,000 years before they could construct this. But it's like, why would you build it in the river? Let's build a machine. Oh, where's the hardest place we can build it? I don't know, at the bottom of a valley in a river. What do you reckon? But we've then got to
Guaranteed they
build
had
it,
giant
a
wheels
couple of
there
100
as
feet
well.
up.
Probably they were probably
I
also
would say so. Yeah,
harvesting
definitely.
somehow the water
Energy.
energy out of that too, for sure.
Definitely, 100%. I mean, it looks like this is more the factory part, and this is more the
Exactly.
the
Exactly.
healing cathedral
The
part.
workshop,
Yeah.
not
So,
worship. The workshop is what they were, and the cathedral, the placing of
yes.
healing,
Nice.
the organ healing,
Nice.
and the workshop. Ooh, what is
Workshop.
this?
And I mean,
And you
just
can
look at the size, right?
and
This
you
is a
can see
1, 2,
once
3.
again
That's a
to the far left,
5-story building.
right? And that's in front of it too.
This one,
Exactly.
yeah.
Right, but there you go,
Yep.
and then also to the right there,
Tall
just
one,
in
and
case,
then the
but
second
there's the
tallest.
2, and always the central in, and it's some sort of dipole, tripole, sort of capaciting, generating electromagnetic machines that these architectural buildings are. There's no other explanation or understanding. It's just been right in our face the entire time.
It has. And look, this is yet to be facaded. That's the thing. You can see this in Europe after the facading, and it would look like a different building. That's just raw. They're all over the place. This is obviously a newer construction. But look at this. I mean, like, what? Did they literally just build a big machine and just pretend it was a house? You can see someone's living down the bottom here, but what is going on with that? Aren't they all antennas? Domes and balls. What do you think of that? Bernie, you've run away. And they've even got the 2 false idols out the front. So that one, I'll see if I can get a name on it. It's a church, St. Joseph Ukrainian Catholic Church. That's what that is. That's obviously why we've got these Christian crosses
that's
going
not
sideways.
what that is. That is a portal and a space traveling interdimensional device. I'm sorry, like or a higher dimensional power plant of whatever is beyond nuclear. I don't even know, dark fusion something or other. Your flux capacitor portal device, like
yeah,
I don't even
that's
know words for that.
ridiculous, isn't it?
It's so ridiculous.
We might have to look into
And
that
those are
one a
metal
bit deeper.
tubes going down, right? Like
that looks like it. It looks like it. Is this,
beam me up,
you know,
Scotty?
is this what they all are? But you know, normally this is covered up, right? And we can't see the stuff inside. Is this what all the Antiquitech is like?
No doubt, indeed. That is truly a beam me up, Scotty device.
It's just madness, right? How about this one?
Like, it just
I think they got enough false idols on there.
I picture it before the facading and before the false idols when they were working and what must have been these majestical plasma blue purple glows auras around the entire building as they were powered up. Like, just what a spectacular ancient reality that must have existed.
Indeed. I mean, even just down the street, look at this. It's just stuff. And look, yeah, look at this. So chuck their statues on the top of these columns for some reason. But look, I mean, look at this. If you want to see, you know, repeated fractals and you know, things being built in perfect symmetry, look at that.
That's
you know,
a waveguide generator. Like those are waveguide antennas and generators. Like you go into computer science and engineering, they actually use these exact same geometries, dimensions, and made out of silica nonetheless in your computer microchips. These are just the macro processors, the macro radio antenna and waveguide generator. Just
yeah, right.
It's nuts.
No, it is, isn't it? I mean, look at all the, you know, there's clearly no purpose to have this many pillars. I mean, look behind it, you can see there's a solid wall there, which is big, strong. So these serve no purpose as far as construction. So, you know,
the purpose was during a famine. Campbell, the purpose was during the famines of like the Inquisition of the wars when, you know, people were starving to death and they had no resources and were just killing each other and dying of plagues. They just, you know, the purpose was that they had the time to focus, to build and put all of their energy into making this, right? In 2 years, probably, nonetheless, too, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, when you think about it, you know, if you've got the choice of, you know, being killed or dying of, you know, death or disease or building an impossible structure, you'd go and build the impossible structure every time, right? I think I would.
Well, that's what I would do if I was starving, weak, and dying, right?
Yeah, exactly. You get your people, you say, hey, run around all over the earth. I want you guys to find me some purple rock, then some lighter rock, then a bit of green speckled rock, maybe some beige rock, you know, just all different types, so that we can make pillars that are just all made out of different materials. Because
different
why
resonating
not?
materials.
We need to make this harder.
And then get some conducting metals and, you know, create some macro-sized circuitry boards. And then, you know, just make it in the same fractal geometry as the frequencies of the different spectrums of light and sound. And, you know, it's simple, and make the material of the rock to be a dielectric so that it actually does carry, your current and does generate power and energy, right? You know, just what you're doing when you're starving
Wow.
peasants that can't read and have nothing
Yeah. I
but a
think that's the most
donkey.
amazing thing is they didn't know what they were building. They just sort of put it together, but it just happened to be a machine. And not only did they do it, but they did it thousands and thousands of times. Just you know, just all
with the
random.
coded geometry of the universe in it too, right? That, but they couldn't read or write.
Of course. No.
And they
No,
just had a donkey
course
with
not.
a wooden cart with square wheels, right? Like,
Yeah. And you know, no paved road. Whatever you do, don't pave the roads. It's not what you do. If you're going to build a building like this, the last thing you would think of having is a strong, solid road to get everyone and all the materials there safely. You know, you wouldn't. It's much more about just building things, you know, on a
right?
base that's
And
not
then a
actually
mud
flat.
slew everywhere
I think that's
else, and your shanty huts, right?
yeah, exactly. Treat the workers really bad, right? Like they build this for the glory, right? But that they're only can live in, you know, shanties, wooden shacks. But I mean,
Macro
it's just
capacitor generators. Like there's no
man.
other reason. Oh
Geez, what
wow,
happened there?
wow. Please
Yeah,
go
I
back
just
one.
gave away all my secrets. Jeez. Hang on, that's
Oi.
forward. Look at this. So this is almost like that one we just looked at. Look at the base it's built on.
So that
Look
would
at
be the
that.
factory part, and that's the energy harvesting generating part, no doubt.
Down here. Yep. Exactly.
And the functioning
And I've seen
Antiquitech
quite a few.
replaced with a false idol.
Yeah, right. They're trying to give Brazil a run for their money, I think. That's a pretty big statue. But I've seen other pictures of cathedrals and these type of machines on bases, not necessarily as big as this in the last one we saw, but I have seen them. So I'm wondering if that is this a feature of all of them, but just in 90% of the cases, these are underground.
I think you're correct with that,
Because
and
we
that's where
always talk about because that's the foundation. We always talk about the foundation. Where's the foundation? That's it.
You got it. And that foundation, the foundry, where the work happens, where the workshop happens, and that's where all of that hidden Antiquitech must have been, and the machining in the foundry.
Exactly. It's all in the spell.
Right? The word
Again,
spells.
hasn't been facaded.
Well, that's
But
only
you can
50
imagine
years
that with a
old,
bit of
right?
work, Yeah, of course.
Not thousands of years of erosion, just 100. And what I love is like the Anatolia region, where a lot of these cathedrals are half destroyed, all made out of brick, craziest cathedrals as anywhere else, yet they're acknowledged to being 1,000, 1,500 years old minimum, and yet then we can publicly acknowledge that these are 1,500 years old, but all the ones that are identical to them around the world, no, they're only last century, 2 centuries ago tops.
Exactly. It's just ridiculous what they try and tell us. Here's another one, and look again. That looks like it's sitting on a base.
Right, all hidden, all mud flooded out.
Yeah, all underground. And swinging buttresses, anyone? Flying buttresses. I mean, look at this. That looks like a 5G tower.
That is that's a 10G tower or 9G tower, right? Like,
yeah, right. And that's the thing.
We got to start doing some pictures.
Put out frequencies that are bad for us. And
some comparative pictures of Antiquitech towers on these cathedrals, and then actual like 4 or 5G towers next to them, and like,
Yeah,
and
we'll
radio
have to, and
towers
different
next to
different
them, right?
components, electrical components. Yeah, we definitely should do that because it's just, I mean, and that's just not even talking about the roof. How the hell did they do that?
I know.
I mean, that's going to
Their
be
magic
metal,
flying
no
carpet.
doubt. I mean, and the size of this thing, you can't really see the size. I think I've got another one. This thing, it's just, well, you can imagine how big it is. You know, the people are just like down. Is that people there?
Ants.
Maybe. Oh, there are. Look, there's some people.
Yeah.
Little specks there. So the same thing. It looks like it's 2-story almost, but each story is like, you know, it's actually like 6 stories to us. Oh, I got this one because look at, just because of this roof. Look at that. I haven't seen that one before.
Right?
These look like heads on pikes.
It's
But
been
how's that?
conquered.
Because it looks. Are they
That
coming
is.
out? No, they're going straight up, aren't they? Yeah.
Right? Like that is
But
something else.
you know,
Holographic fractal right there.
it's bizarre, isn't it? Just looking at it, you know, your eyes would go, whoa, wait, God, what's going on with that shape?
Literally
Yeah.
built in
And
a
again,
visual,
massively oversized. Oh, yeah.
giant sized doors. Optical illusion roofing.
Yeah. Why not?
No big deal. They just
You know,
built
it's
it
just
in
better than
3
being
years.
different. Yeah, of course. Of course, for the worship of God, right? And the fact that, you know, we just see a central, you know, pillar or spike or whatever, dome, surrounded by 4 in pretty much every single, you know, building that we see of the old world. It's just coincidence. It doesn't mean anything. It's just coincidence. Or it's for aesthetics. It's to look, because God likes, you know, 4 around the outside, 1 in the middle. I think that's the answer.
No repeating geometry for technological purposes whatsoever. No.
Nah, definitely not.
They just telekinetically connected through time and space to build the exact same blueprint designs, you know, from the 1600s to the 1900s, everywhere on this realm, you know, like just coincidence.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, I love these Asian ones.
When you get bored, just build something that's literally really impossible. Yeah, exactly. We just got one little, you know, spike they've left there, but that, I mean, that looks like there was probably quite a big thing on there. It's, you know, they don't normally just stop like that, do they? And of course, is, you know, what's the practical purpose? You know, if they tell us it's some kind of
giant doorway in that one, I envision like some sort of demigod entity from whether you want to call them Anunnaki, alien, or whatever the heck, the blue guys from their ancient past. The stories they tell, I'm pretty sure that's an accurate story, that some blue flying demigod giant thing that this was created for and by is actually the guy that it was created for and by, you know, like could picture a giant blue dude sitting on top of that or in the middle of it and just beaming up to a spaceship or something like that when it was functioning and had all the real tech on it.
Maybe, just maybe. And maybe some of the stories that they told and they wrote down in books and took all this time to pass on, maybe some of them, I don't know, are true. Who knows, right? I mean, let's get right out there and get crazy. But look at this. This literally, what it looks like is a power source, a machine, you know, machine that powers itself. And this just looks like a doorway, right? It just turns on and Mr. Blue just appears here and walks out and goes, hello.
Right? Like almost
I
guaranteed.
like this, how they put his card. You can't go in. Can't go in. We're blocking you with our little
You must be able to step over this hurdle to enter.
To enter, yes.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. A bit more.
Global
Duncan,
Vision. If you've seen
Fractals.
Global Vision's work, the Russian channel, he hasn't really done too much lately, but he goes
He's
in
been
depth.
off for, it's about a year or so.
I was talking to him a little
Sorry, yeah, you
bit,
go.
and then I was talking a little Russian to him. We were supposed to do a couple interviews about a year ago, and I saw him actually on the Keshi. I got him into some Keshi stuff, and he got into the Russian Keshi, I think, and hopefully that's what he's doing,
Oh
because
yeah,
for 6 months before that, he was focusing a lot on the negative hive mind entity beings and turned off the
yeah,
Tartaria and the Antiquitech and went into that dark self-fulfilling negative
yeah,
feedback loop. So hopefully that didn't get him, and
yeah. He
hopefully he's
did.
built himself a spaceship, because the Russian and
Yes,
the Chinese
yes.
Pesci Foundation groups are much more advanced and disclosed a lot more. And from what I've seen in some of their videos, they
Yeah.
do have working plasma craft.
Oh,
Just a little
really?
disclosure
Wow.
there.
Because yeah, I mean the Russians that they let people invent stuff. I mean they even help them. They got all those
Right?
pyramids that they built too, where they're storing food and stuff. Like literally, they've built them to create a certain frequency, and they can put food in it, and it just stores it long term. It like fruit and vegetables. Those don't go off. It's bizarre. Check this baby out. Now this, and I'm not sure what's happened here. If they've turned this into housing later, I mean probably, but I mean this just looks like an old machine, right? Like
Oh,
literally, it looks
big
like this
time.
bit at the top should turn. What do you
Oh,
reckon?
exactly. Some
It
sort of
just it
giant
looks
flywheel in there is what I could envision for sure.
yeah, yeah. It looks like a wheel hub sideways, just flat on the ground. It's just that I mean, it's just madness.
There's
And
no
you
other
know, I mean, I'd
rationale
like to hear
for it
the
either.
explanation for that one. No, what would the explanation for that be? Like, like seriously, what would it be? Can't be a
We just
fort
love
because look at all these
wasting
houses on the
resources
outside
and
with glass
energy,
windows.
and right, like and clearly look at that tunnel
And
there to the
also,
left and stuff. There's way bigger
exactly, yeah,
giant
that
hidden earthworks
and
underneath and underground structure that
you can see this
definitely
raised
connects to
bit
that
on
water
the
and where
outside.
all the machinery and
Yeah,
Antiquitech functioning stuff would have been.
looks like there might even be another one down this side. See that bit of a tunnel? So yeah, there was something going on there. But then this is it, and I mean, and that's the biggest proof is that can't be explained. You know, the what you'd get for that would just be laughable. Indonesia's always good, isn't it? India.
Beam me up.
Look at the intricacy on these side bits. And have you heard the theory that these are literally Vimanas sitting on top that land on the temples
Oh
and
yeah,
then
and like
take off?
they in the Mahabharata and the epics of the Vahrama, they not only do they state that, but they actually have the blueprints and the breakdown of them showing that they are exactly
Build
that
them.
and how they're built and descriptions on how they work.
Yeah. It's
Right. And
ridiculous. I mean, people must have tried to build. I mean, it's literally there in that. Yeah, the Maharaja Shistra. Is that right?
I believe so.
It tells, and it's all based. Guess what? It's based on, right? Mercury. What have we
Yep.
found in the
That's how they
balls?
function.
You know.
Always Mercury everywhere.
So
And ones like that that are
exactly. So
so
if this,
old, where they claim they were Vrihmana, that if they were originally made of metal and then there was this giant catastrophe and so much time that has passed that could have actually turned these to stone and petrified them, where they were could have been actual metal craft, actual spaceships. Who knows? Like I could definitely see that.
yeah, I've thought about that. I haven't looked into it. Can metal be turned to stone?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
is that
Especially with my electrolysis experiments here and making the monoatomic and the plasma metal elements. what some of the reactions in like the jars and the I guess product, the can't think of the byproduct that's left over when I leave it for time. It's a work in progress that's going to take me a few years, but it's literally going to rewrite the sedimentary and geologic process of Earth, and 100% these metals can turn into rock and calcify, as well as carbonize
that would
and
explain
crystallize.
Did you see Praveen Mohan's latest? Praveen Mohan?
I have not. I've been meaning to check it out.
Yeah,
I love his work. He is a great individual, and
he's great.
it makes me happy to hear that he's done a new one, because that would mean that he has beat the COVID case that he came down with, because a month or so ago, or maybe 2 now, he was really, really sick and caught whatever was going on in India there. So that, look at that. That's a modern, like, that looks like a modern freaking radio tower right there, like transformer and everything, almost like one of Tesla's plasma coils, a giant Tesla coil, like and the dipole, right? The taller one and the lower one next to it, always the dipole.
Yeah. Time. Yeah. In the Praveen latest video, that he's in a temple, and on the top of the pillars, they've got these what are now stone, discs, and they turn. And like there's all these heaps of pillars, and all of them had it, and they turned. But the government went in and like put cement on all of them but one, so they can't be turned now, because they were like, oh, we don't know what it does. Maybe it's it might make the temple fall over. Like that's
we don't want
literally
to
what
activate
they said.
it.
It might make the temple fall over. yeah, because the spaceship will leave the roof or something. But he was saying it could be, for hidden doors or stuff. But who knows? It could be how to turn the machine on. And the other thing he said is there was writing and stuff on these stones that you could turn, and it's all gone now. So it was probably had instructions on it.
I was just about to say, of course, it was the instructions.
Look at these bits. I mean, that is so made from stone. We're supposed to believe. Look at this look at that. How right, big curve. S's.
Geopolymers for sure. And my alchemy,
it would have to be
as well, the electrolysis shows that it's how the geopolymer, the nanotechnology that they had worked. And when I publish, it will be something else.
Look at all these holes too. Look at this. All these holes that are the same in the side of these pieces here. What's that about?
Right, more waveguide energy. Resonance, of course.
Oops. Oh God, I've done it again. Look at that.
Like
how?
Indonesian cathedral? How? Insane.
Talk about fractal stacking.
Just with a chisel, an axe, and a wooden cart, right?
Yeah, of course. I know these are these urns that we see a lot. I wonder if they're holding some liquid mercury, liquid silver.
Some red mercury, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
That's insane. What a sight it must have been when seeing these things actually working, right?
When they found that. Yeah. And they're going to tell us, I don't know what they'll tell us. that these were some kind of lookout towers, no doubt, you know, for defense. So why are the stairs on the outside?
Right, right. Like, we just put all
So
of this
no one can actually
insane
make
effort
it
into
to the top.
building and designing, but we made it so that we would just be slaughtered off of any sort of attack,
Trying to get
right?
up there.
But its purpose was for
Exactly.
defense.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, it's just... And look at what have we got up here, Burn? In the sky.
Always the birds attracted to that energy
Always
field.
the birds.
Yeah,
Yes,
Praveen also
exactly.
has a good video of the birds always with the Ingram. It would upset them, like anytime you'd touch them, and they just go flying every single time.
Yeah, right. Those what are they? What's the word? Lamp-looking things, like a
Caleb says
genie
spiral up.
lamp-looking thing. That's like the... Yeah.
Imagine,
And, you
like,
know, if you
there's
don't
got
believe
to
in
be a massive
more than
underground
one,
complex that's the foundation of
yeah,
these, right? There's just no other way. Because also
there's
how
not... I mean, look
old
at
they
this.
are, they
Imagine
would
the
have
weight of
tilted,
that.
they would have broken, they wouldn't have survived like earthquakes,
Yep.
weathering, stuff like that. There has to be
Yep.
huge foundational structures underneath that these are built upon. There's no other way.
Definitely, and built some way so that they do, you know, save them from you know, earthquakes and all these earth changes, because they're still there. You know, obviously some got hit by something, but so many are just perfect. And you know, the buildings we build today, I mean, you know, 50 years they're dead. They just fall over because we just put a, you know, concrete slab down pretty much. If it's a building, there might be a few
Right?
pillars. Everyone's seen this one, of course. You know, just randomly in the countryside back in the 1800s, you know. So that could have been
Just a
metal.
massive dielectric antenna generator. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to say here. Well, the camels don't even want to have a look.
And like, look at that portal on top. I guarantee, like, at one point, that top part opened up
Stargate,
like
anyone?
Stargate, and someone walked
Yep.
through or walked out of there. Maybe even the
Exactly.
Sauron
They've
eye.
even got, you know. Who
Just
knows, right?
incredible.
Indeed.
And like the story
It's
of
just...
like the in Mexico there of one of the big pyramid complexes that Tiwanaku, I think it's called, but that massive
Yeah.
pyramid of the sun, and it was covered in I just had it on my head. What stone? It's a dielectric Leica. And that the Leica covering that pyramid literally turned it into a giant power plant that I think the original picture with it still on her mica on it, there's like a giant orb or energy or something coming out of it. So then the government apparently sold this mica off, and that mica was from Brazil, yet it made it up to middle Mexico. But how many of these structures were covered with those sort of dielectric materials and different?
Well, we know the Great Pyramid at least was, you know, and they tell us people went in and ripped it all off to sell it. I mean, that's probably half the story. It's probably the government sold it and people came and ripped it off.
Exactly.
This is that same
the dielectrics and the capacitors. That's
thing.
And
but that's the thing. Yeah, that could be one of the big things that's missing. That would explain the refacading as well.
100%, right? I think that's actually a very solid hypothesis that we have just come up with, and that was probably the most likely case, that they had the dielectrics on them as well as then the metal conductors going down to connecting these circuits and making the Antiquitech functionality. Like that Like, look at that. There's just no other way than that
They're
not
empty.
being built with industrial purpose.
Yeah, these are empty. These big, massive towers. There's nothing in them. You can see straight through them. What is the point?
Where's the missing
And what have they
glowing
taken off the top?
cylinders that were in there?
Yeah,
Right?
how obvious is that, right? No, there was nothing up there. No, it was built flat. It's just that nothing else in the old world was built flat, but this was built flat. Nothing to see here. We did not steal the tech. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? And this one again, we've got the original cymatic window, so that could also help us work out what the frequency is.
Guaranteed that is definitely a geometric frequency or actual Hertzian frequency that cymatic wave pattern is for sure.
Oh gosh, I'm bloody clicking everywhere. This is the end. So yeah, you can see these whole towers. Like that's literally what 2/3 of the building to there, plus the towers. It's all empty. Look, you just see straight through it. There's nothing in there. So what is the point? Like they've built this little bit that you can go in there, and I mean, look at these doors.
And like, look at how there's all that tiled out Parker like in front of it there. Like, guaranteed there's underground foundation where all of that brick patio is, right? Like,
well,
to support
look at that, you can see this goes
foundationally.
down.
Exactly. Like, it's got to be at least 3 to 5 stories down and twice the width of how high it is outward underground as a foundation, or that would have crumbled and fallen over many ages ago. There's no other way. Like, there's a massive hidden underground foundation to this for sure. And yeah, like, look at that. Like, that is such a crazy energy harvesting antenna right there. Like, and then that little facade right above the glass window.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, I know, right? Whee!
Could it be any more obvious? Like, oh god.
I know.
And when they facaded,
different everything.
Right? They definitely took all the metal conductors, the dielectrics off of the insulators off of the circuitry that made them function. It's undeniable at this point. Like, and look at that waveguide generator. It's crazy.
Which one? Yeah, it's just mad. And I mean, what are these? These are everywhere.
We're gonna have to look up in our next video some global vision, because he went over explaining, and he actually has blueprints of microprocessors that are of these same geometries and of silica and quartz make, with the metal conductors in between them, where he explains and gives the actual functionality and technology of what these specific ones are. But there's some sort of macro processor essentially.
Wow. There's that one again.
And like, that just looks like a super advanced nuclear power plant cooling plant, like with the cooling pool and everything, like some sort of energy power plant and your cooling pond. Like, no other way about it.
Pretty much. That's what it looks like, isn't it? It's just ridiculous. Ceiling, anyone?
Huh.
Now this one, oh no, it is. I was going to say it looks a bit like wood, but I think it is stone, isn't it? Yeah. But look at, I mean, it's just ridiculous, right?
No other way to describe it.
Now, these are pictures from the World's Fair, and look at this. This is, what's that?
And that was an industrial fair, right, of actual machinery and
Yep.
like product
tools and machineries,
tools and equipment technology.
inventions.
So right there, that has to be a atmospheric electricity harvester energy generator. There, it's undeniable. And like the spheres, probably the Mercury
like
up there at the top. Exactly. And
just like a monstrance, basically, just a portable machine. Yeah.
The monstrous is.
But that's it. That's old world.
You picked up something huge on that, Cambell. And I was very, very impressed and still stuck with me what you presented with Rex there on the monstruses and how they're like these mobile energy devices, probably even healing devices that the old society, old world tech had that they were able to use to produce miracles for the masses, no doubt. And it was just surviving old world tech, guaranteed. You were bang on with that, my friend.
And if you haven't seen that, guys, we did a chat with Leak Project last week. So
part 1 and 2.
I think I've linked it somewhere. Part 2 came out today. So check that out as well. But yeah, these things, oh gosh, look at this one in the front. That's almost more impressive. Right? It looks like they've turned it into put a clock on the top of it. But I mean, what was that?
And it also almost resembles that the handheld East Indian device there that you showed at the beginning of the pictures.
Oh yeah, the Sri Yantra. The Sri Yantra.
Just a macro version.
And look at these, right? This just looks like, you walk in
fun and had functionality.
Like, okay, I want to make a machine I want to make a machine that's got to fix livers. And they're like, all right, well, you're going to need 2 of these, and then you'll need these components, this down here, and we'll, maybe one of these inside. And it just looks like components, doesn't it?
It really, there's no other explanation. Like, no, at a time where we're told that, they had just coal, steam engine just breaking through the Industrial Revolution with vast majority of everyone starving, barely able to survive, no power, no real motors, just very little. Yet they had time to build all of this stuff, ship it around the world, feature it just for decoration. No, I'm sorry. The peasants would have rose up and burnt everything down in revolts. Like there's just no other way.
Of course they would have. That's exactly. I think we saw that one last time, didn't we? That was on Leak Project. We had a look at this one with the tower.
And they're everywhere across the world. These same design, the Eiffel Tower-like devices, where those are old world atmospheric electricity harvesting machines. There's just nothing else that could be or that explains it, and that they were removed. And probably every ancient star city and just settlement would have had these, and that's what they got their main power source from. It's like the obelisk, but they're new age, but old age.
And it looks like they've just changed the top. They just whack a container in the top here. It's a water tower.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you can see in this has definitely got an antenna coming off it. And look at
this here. And why does everything have antennas before there was radio? Like, before there was power, before there was radio, we just had antennas on everything. Because, we didn't need the metal for something else practical.
Yeah, the only explanation is the lightning strike, right? And, everyone goes, lightning strike. But then seriously, ask yourself the question, how many buildings have you heard of that have burnt down from a lightning strike?
Or how many houses have you
is
seen or
a plague
experienced getting
across
struck
the
by
world?
lightning without a lightning rod right now? It's like the lightning rod attracts
Yeah,
lightning, not like why would you want
attracts
to
it.
bring it to you? It's the exact opposite.
Exactly.
Like you don't
It's
have the
the whole
rod, the
point.
lightning's not going to strike you. Just ridiculous,
Exactly.
especially on all the
If they
homes.
were serious, they'd be yeah, they'd just be like this would be the lightning rod. It'd just be the tallest thing that went
Exactly.
into the ground. It wouldn't be on the top of a building. But look at this, right? Look at the shape of this. Look at this dome. And this is inside for sale. And look, someone's already bought one. Look at that. Just sitting
Right.
out there already
Good.
on top of a
Good
building.
eye. So clearly that side slit
Yeah,
geometry
right.
has some sort of functionality in the resonance and energy transfer and magnification or harvesting of these technologies and
Something.
devices.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, cooling towers, maybe. Who knows? Look at this thing. What's that?
Right? Oh, and there's a little one right in front of it too.
This one, yeah. Looks like a super
Giant
magnet gun or something,
flywheel
doesn't
to
it?
the
I mean, yeah,
left.
there's this stuff everywhere through here.
Oh my
Yep, that
God, I would
one.
love to be able
It's
to time travel
just
back to one of
bad.
those.
Just yeah, I wish we had more. We could zoom in more. I mean, because that looks like an axle with wheels, but what's it doing sideways, hanging off this roof?
Right, and the
That's
giant
clearly
big
part of
wheel
a bigger
behind it
machine.
too, and the
This,
metal cage
yeah,
around it that is like a Faraday cage, essentially
Faraday,
encasing it. That looks like,
exactly.
and it
And look what it
also,
has on it. The
right,
exact
that
same stuff we see on cathedrals, right? Mm.
the energy harvesting, and that it actually Da Vinci, the book we went over in like our second chat, I think Campbell had very identical blueprint drawings to this exact sort of layout, where we were speculating that it must have been some sort of Antiquitech machine and not just the gearbox that they were claiming it is. And here we have another one, the exact same, but in better display. And
Yeah, actually,
clearly in an
there's another big
industrial,
wheel.
right back there. Oh yeah.
I mean, and look at the stairs and all. I mean, this is inside. This is from one of the exhibitions, but clearly this is a factory, and it's just still got the machinery in there, and they've just brought a bit more in, or they've moved it all about,
Selling
basically
it
put it
off.
all in,
The robber barons
together,
found
so they
it
can
and
sell it
are
off.
selling it off. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Selling off our story.
And like
A few
that
more. I mean,
building
so these
itself, it
things, they
looks
were
like
just
there was
full
a
of
rail going through it and probably built the big airships and launched these
this.
airships through there. That's what that looks like to
Yeah,
me.
well, this
Giant hangar.
it moved. There was a platform that sat on the top of it, like a big platform, and you could get like 50 people on it, and it literally just went across here. And they say it was a viewing platform that they built, and everyone just stood on it, and you could sort of go across the top. But I mean, that would make perfect sense that it was, for moving things like airships, and right. And they've just gone,
No
no.
other way
It's a viewing
about it.
platform. And they never tell you how they got that platform to move either. I mean,
I was just
where's all the
thinking
power
that,
source,
right? It's
right?
like, what powered that? Like, are you kidding me?
This and this, all the ambient energy that was just cruising around. Look at
And
this.
I'm really starting to suspect that the steam technology, steam power, along with what were those DC energy devices called? It will come back to me. Paul Cook's done several videos on them,
Right.
but that it was some sort of plasma, etherical, wireless energy technology, and that the old steam tech wasn't. It was electrical plasma tech. It wasn't coal burning tech. I fully suspect that. And if you look to the right here, this one
Yep.
thing, one engine. It looks more like some metal domes and bells as opposed to a chimney coming out.
It looks like this. It looks like a component, doesn't it? Doesn't actually look like. It kind of looks like a train, but it looks like you could bolt something onto this, almost like a piston.
Right? Big
so
time.
I mean, who knows? You know, well, they just bits a machine and they've just
like Elon's
added
Hyperloop.
wheels. Who knows? I don't know. Old Elon. But yeah, just this. So yeah, and this is all over 100 years ago. Oh, and that's the last pick. Oh, I've got stuff everywhere. Whoops. I'll stop sharing screen. That's what I need to do. There we go. Alrighty. So a bit of look at some old world tech there. I've actually got some other pictures. I started getting pictures, and there's just so many examples of this. You wouldn't believe it. I had to stop. I'm like, if I get any more pictures, we'll be bloody live for 20 hours. But this, literally,
that's next
just
week's
go
weekend
into,
at Bernie's 48-hour stream.
That's next year, exactly. Just Google, or not Google, DuckDuckGo or whatever, amazing cathedrals, and see what pops up. You will blow your head off.
Right? I get lost for days
ridiculous.
in Pinterest doing the same thing. Pinterest actually surprisingly supplies ridiculous amounts of good Antiquitech cathedrals and stuff like that. Their AI algorithms, for some reason, gift of amazingness, right? Yeah, it really is. It's crazy.
Yeah. Because people literally open up accounts and they'll be just into, Catholic cathedrals of Wales or something.
Right.
And they just give you everything. So you can literally find everything, or just, it's just, there's so many. And that's all they do. They just find good pictures and post them. So yeah, Pinterest, if you're looking for material and stuff. I mean, I'll just show you what I've got here quickly. I mean, this is what comes up when you put in amazing cathedrals. I mean, you get stuff like this. I know you can't see that very big, but I mean, just just
endless,
just ridiculous.
Like, how many of them are there? Like, there's just how?
They just it's just endless.
Literally,
and each one is like, how the hell? Like they just, and look, everyone is just ridiculous.
Literally mind blowing. Every single one.
It's just madness. So yeah, I mean, these things, I mean, they're everywhere. It's not like we've got lots of cathedrals. They are everywhere. It was such a part of the old system, that they were machines. They were an integral part of how the whole system was set up, the whole grid, the whole electricity thing, the whole energy, the whole, how they viewed life, how they viewed health, how they got health, or everything.
And how many of them, and how much of that
grid is still
functioning? How much is still functioning? That's the real question. And how many of these secret society priest class, ancient knowledge holders are keeping from us, and have they turned and now manipulated against us? And are there light workers? Are there good ones out there too that are just holding the knowledge for the good people around them that initiate themselves in? Because that could be a possibility too, and we don't really know, and it's something that really needs to come out and be further investigated.
Yeah, I mean, this is sacred sites, right? This is why they're sacred, is their energy sites. This is why they have all ceremonies and stuff on them. But I'm sure that there's good ceremonies going on out there. But when I spoke to the Strongs, the guys from Australia, they were saying that they'd come across two places in Australia. One was Butterbox, and they said there was nothing living there. You couldn't even find an insect. Like literally, they said there weren't even ants in this place. They said there was no birds, no animals, just nothing. And they found another place where the trees grew, and they'd hit a certain height, and then they'd all fall over. So they grow to a certain height, and then they'd just fall over, just in this square. And what they think is that there is Antiquitech buildings underneath the ground here, but they've been damaged and they're giving off a bad
that would make sense. Now. Frequencies, yeah. These are the Strongs the ones that have been investigating the Egyptian site there? Yeah. So I need you released that interview. Yes, you did that one. It's public now or no?
Yesterday. Yeah, went up yesterday.
Yeah, I think I saw a little bit of it. I gotta watch that once we're done here, because there's probably some gold.
It's a little bit long, but it's good. It's
a little bit long, but we've just been going for 3 hours.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? But we hardly said anything because Stephen, he's so enthusiastic, but he just goes off, and he was just
so much knowledge he tells
because he's right. And he's hooked right in with the Indigenous, so he's got all their stories, and he's got knowledge. And in the interview, he sort of talks, and then he goes, "Oh, I can't say that." He has to keep stopping because he's got all this knowledge that he can't actually tell us yet, because he'll get people in trouble, or he'll end up in jail, or something also like this. And he said that the Australian government have tried to jail him 6 times, and all he is a historian and an ex-teacher.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just goes to show.
So
we have these national treasures, but if you let anybody know about it, we'll toss you away and throw away the key.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes perfect sense.
It's because of, they want us to believe that, they just came over and found this vacant land, right? It was vacant. It wasn't doing anything. So they brought people over and they turned it into a productive country. It was nothing to do with, they came here, they found a civilization, they basically started a war, killed them, introduced disease and famine so they could weaken them and then really wipe them out. Then they steal everything, all the wealth, all the buildings, take over it, claim it as theirs, and build a system that's based on the exact opposite morals to the society that existed beforehand. We're not supposed to know that.
Backwards world.
Backwards so it's just, backward. Bizarro world, clown world. So there we go. So we're going 2.5 hours. So we'll just say a bit more of a hello, and then we might have to leave you people to get some sleep. Bernard Conkin, some say that waterfalls are just piping from old buildings still running. There you go.
Right. Michelle Gibson has put forward some good research showing that the lot of waterfalls are terraformed, and that a lot of the river patterns are also terraformed. And you connect that in with John Levy and Dustin Berserker Bear there, or Bushwhacking Buffalo History, I guess he calls himself now. They put forward a lot of evidence showing that this ancient culture society has, that's exactly what it is remnants of pre-cataclysm. And then Rex there, all of his investigations into the Grand Canyon Pyramid Complex. And you guys, if you haven't seen it, you really have to check out our 2-parter there. Because I also put forward a pretty good map there that shows all the different temple names of all of the peaks within it. And what I didn't put forward and show, which we'll do it next time, but is the actual oh my god, I can't think of the topographical map of the Grand Canyon Pyramid Complex, and each peak identically lines up with not just Orion's belt, but every single star within the Orion constellation and surrounding stars, like point for point. That it will put your brain on the sidewalk, because it's like, how, like, who, like, impossible, but yet there it stands over
Yeah.
the monument.
Well, maybe we should. I think, yeah, because a lot of people probably haven't seen that. So maybe on the next show we'll get that picture, that one with all the temples on it, and that other one we'll show that again. You know, the Indian
the
with the
Badland
iPod Indian,
Guardians
and that
by
and
my
that and,
place.
then yeah, and maybe
Literally
we'll check out
Nazca
some of the
Cruise.
other sites on those lines.
Yeah, the Geoglyphs, the Farham. Yeah, we were going to cover, but too late today. Definitely on the next one. But there's like Nazca Peru lines, like huge from the sky, like equivalent of the Nazca lines, Nazca carvings or geoglyph structures, in just 100 kilometers from me, where I am in Calgary, Alberta, in Medicine Hat, Alberta, that revolutionizes the entire history of North America, yet nobody knows about and has quote unquote somehow been debunked. But well, just if you can't wait, go check out our interview with Rex, and if you, well, do that anyways, but we will put forward even more information on it and cover it in the next video, because once you see it, your entire perspective of Earth's history is just forever shattered and changed, but for the good,
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's proof. I mean, when you say that, it's like you any thought of anything the system says has any kind of validity just goes. You see this, and you're like, okay, it's bullshit. It's completely
a paradigm shatter.
Everything that, you know, all the conspiracy theories are right. You know, okay, I give in. Yep, you're correct.
Any shadow of a doubt
like when
that you might have had, just that the current narrative is the case, it just, it flushes that right down the shitter for sure. There's just no other way.
It's just ridiculous.
And
this
like,
it's just this realm is just it's a system. It's a fully functioning system that is where every piece is integral to the next piece, and they're all interconnected to such a scale that, like, exactly, just will blow your head off. It's
paradigm
like, okay,
shifting.
Yep. This used to be, you know, like bloody Space World or something. Who knows what was going on here? But,
right.
You know, and it'll just, you know, all this talk of, you know, UFOs and that. I mean, we were building them. You know, we were flying around everywhere. You know, we had more than airships. Got to get
there's
those out of land
stories of
somehow,
so many inventors and technologies that actually make sense to me throughout even the last 100 years, of people that have done it themselves and all have their own different UFOs that were documented. And like, with what and that's why I'm working with APEC and Jeremy, the alien scientist, so much, and a lot with Mike and stuff, is that there's serious people putting in serious efforts to be able to make a public open source craft technology and device that we will be bringing forward and make manifest into reality within a few years at the most. And I know for a fact that the Keshe Foundation has made several of them. I've seen them. I've gone into what is like what should have been confidentiality videos, but I luckily haven't signed it, but was still privy to see. And there's a lot of different groups out there, and there's good people, good spirited humanitarians trying to bring this forth. Nassim Haramine's group, the Resonant Project, they have also done some, and there's documented cases of his technology as well. Although sadly, I think since he's in the States, had to do non-disclosure with the government, but he's still been allowed to bring it forward within his own group and further develop it and make it. And back to lastly,
It's close.
quickly, the Grand Canyon Pyramid Complex and the fact that to this date that there's a no-fly zone. When Rex was there, an Apache helicopter flew over him and he was just on the outside of the cliff. You'll get arrested if you go into that. It's like the Kincaid area. But you know what the one place is called right there? Solomon's Temple. So for all the legends and mystery of where Solomon's Temple lies, because there's never been a location throughout Asia, the Middle East, or Africa, how about the place that looks like a giant pyramid complex of megalithic that is actually called Solomon's Temple that nobody is allowed to go to, that is still protected by Apache helicopters? I think that would be the number one candidate for the real Solomon's Temple.
It's just, and that's the biggest proof, isn't it, that we're not allowed there. One of these pyramids used to have a doorway, an open doorway, and it got blocked up. It was open, and then suddenly it was blocked up.
Right?
So yeah, right. Egypt was America.
Just completely walled up
Africa,
too.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that wall that just covered that cave that there's lots of pictures of just magically appeared, and it's natural. It's a geologic formation from water erosion that this perfectly flat, straight, well engineered wall just magically formed from.
Yeah, it just formed. Yeah, it's natural, of course.
Overnight, nonetheless.
They just forgot that we had the photos before it was there. So, it's mad. But there we go. I think we might be.
Yeah, we're right at 3 hour mark.
We're waffling. We are 3 hours, guys. Thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate you all. Hello. Even if I haven't got to your name, thank you for being here. And yeah, guys, we'll get another live up into this energy stuff, show you what Bernie's talking about with Egypt. So please share these videos around, give us a like, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, stay awesome. And thanks for being here with us.
Absolutely.
And we'll catch you on the next
Much
upload.
Love and respect. We will see you guys soon. Love.
All right. See you later, guys. Much love. Bye for now.